G'day guys and welcome to the Centre Bounce for our very first Rate My Team video for 2025. Stay tuned. Big J, the question went out to the people. Send us your teams that we can rate them. And J Wiz, I think, were we expecting this much of a response so quickly?
Oh, mate, if you remember our Rate Our Team series from last year, I think it ended up being 7 or 8 episodes of like 30 teams each, spanning a few hours.
Yeah.
So I think so far we've done okay. Probably end up doing this again in again in February and then March as well, coming up to the season starting. So, input from the fans is always good.
We definitely learned our lesson from last year when we were bombarded. So you did it good. We put a time frame of what, a day and a bit. This is it. This is your timeline. Get in now. Otherwise, try again next month. But we're going to go through a few of them. I haven't counted them. I think I saw about 50 comments to the Facebook post. No. I'm not sure if they're necessarily all teams, but I guess we'll find out together. But before we do that, we wanted to give out a quick little shout out once again. Excuse the chicken scratch here on the side. Okay, it's not easy to write with a mouse, but mate, it's done from the heart. It's done with the heart. There's the love heart. A massive thank you to our very first members. Mark managed to sneak in today. They're good with the 0 days, so thanks very much, guys. Causa, Blast from the Past, Velo, Charles, Uncle Aka, and Mark Lavelle. Thanks, guys, so much.
Guys, remember, if you just watch the video, smash the like, smash the subscribe. That's all we want. But if you guys, want to give back a little bit more to the channel, support us this way. Membership's a great way to do that. So thank you very much, guys. And hopefully it can kind of grow. We've got a few things coming out, one being our community team, some exclusive other things as well that our members get. So if you're interested in that, some good incentive there.
Absolutely. So without further ado, let's go to Facebook, and we're going to start with the very first team from Roddy with 35,800 left.
Now, Roddy over here actually works with me at work. So I told him, I said, hey, we're doing Rate My Team. Somehow we ended up being the first one. Hopefully we can see it, though. Maybe you just have to click. Can you just click it and then it will open?
Oh.
Technical difficulties here, boys and girls. There you go.
There we go.
Sheasel, McKercher, Humphreys. I love the Humphreys pick. Breeger, Mills, and rookies on the bench. Can you zoom in a little bit, Joe? Should be able to.
I'll try. Oh, nope. That does not how that works.
That's the wrong way.
It doesn't like it. No. Unless
That's right. We'll figure it out. We'll look. We'll zoom in. Bont, Butters, Merritt, Oliver, and then Jagger Smith, Draper, Ashcroft, Lindsay on the field. A few more rookies there. Cherry and Meek, Joe. So, we'll see what happens there. Horn, Francis, McRae, Bailey Smith, Parker. So maybe this is post-Philippou news. Daniel, and then Hewitt, and then Zane.
Got Dersma. Zane Dersma in the flex.
Okay. Kind of initial thoughts on the team.
Did you barrack for North Melbourne by any chance?
No, he's actually a Geelong person.
I initially thought maybe Geelong because he's too smart. He's got O'Sullivan on the bench and he's got Jack Martin on the bench and he's got Humphreys. But then as it just continues going, it's just like round 12 isn't a thing. And so I love me North Melbourne too much with Dersma, Parker, Sheasel, McKercher. Like we're loading up, and Sherry. We're loading up on North Melbourne, and hey, North Melbourne does have a lot of Supercoach relevant players, no doubt about it. But I just am a little bit concerned with that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've got 9 players on the field, but in terms of the keepers, you're anticipating Humphreys to be a keeper. So that's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You've got 8 premiums, 8 keepers gone in round 12. That's a little bit too much for my liking personally.
Yeah, I was speaking to DR. If you guys haven't checked out our North Melbourne preview video yet, you don't have to keep all of them at round 12. Like if Luke Parker doesn't end up being a keeper primo, at least he'll make enough money to offload and whatnot. But 100% agree, Joe. Kind of just having to balance some of those things. You'd hope at round 12 you might have a few more rookies on the bench playing to get close to that best 18 good scores. So I don't mind it, Rodney. Meek's definitely an interesting pick, one to watch out with Reeves competing with the spot, potentially also playing. And then Dersma, I don't think is probably there. So maybe if you can trade him out, even a Tom Lynch or someone for comparable points might end up being a better pick. But you've got some good captaincy options there. It's just kind of fleshing out the rest of the team.
Yeah, and I'd say probably structure-wise, maybe adding an extra, maybe taking one rookie off the field in the midfield, just because you don't necessarily know. Like Draper, he's been managed in the preseason. Does he play right straight away? Is he thrown in? Ashcroft, obviously coming off shoulder surgery, does he go straight in as well? Lindsay, I'm pretty sure he had his own injury concern as well and was being eased back as well. So you probably don't want to have too many rookies on the field. Probably have one more good scorer and take a rookie off. So that's in terms of structure. I think that's one other thing I would suggest.
Nice. And you got enough money to play around with your team. So
yeah,
you've got some
exactly.
good options there. All right, on to the next one, Joe.
On to the next one. All right. CJ, it's a parts. So we're not going to do that one, CJ. It needs to be in one picture, please. All right, let's have a look. 109K in the bank. Can get Allen up to Peatling. If I do Horn Francis down to Shea. What do you think of Boyd as flex with Romo? Injury, Marshall could play forward. Thanks for... No worries.
Well,
right.
Marshall, we know now's, not there, so it kind of doesn't work for him anyway. I think we're going to struggle a little bit with this, Joe.
Jeez. All right, so we've got Sheasel, Whitfield, Sinclair, Mills, Jackson, Pryor, Bo Allen, Smith, and Buslinger. Bont, Sarong, Dawson, Oliver, Smith, Ed Allen, Levi Ashcroft, Smiley, Lindsay Hewitt, Sard, Gorn, and Sherry with Pike. Okay, so this is a loophole. Horn Francis, McRae, Smith, Daniel, Lynch, Curtin, Boyd in flex, Berry, and Erasmus. What do you reckon?
It's not bad. I think this is going to be similar to the format that we're going to see a lot. Because you're so light in that forward line, you don't have a Daniel at F5. I would prefer maybe if you had another midfielder and not Oliver at that position. So how you were saying, hey, look, I can actually spend this money. I think that might be the way to go. Bo Allen up for Peatling just kind of makes the team look a little bit better and you get more of a certainty pick. If Peatling doesn't end up being a primo who's going to end up making you enough money to, maybe side swap straight away or 50K more and you can get a primo in. Otherwise, I don't mind it. Good mix of not having too many round 12 buy players too.
Yeah, definitely seems to be a team with the buyers in mind, which is excellent. Jordan Dawson, look, I started him last year and it hurt. No certainty really in relation to the role that he's going to play. Plus, as Big J mentions, you're a little bit light in the midfield building 4 rookies. Now, if you're going to be light in the forward line, it means you're going to be stronger elsewhere, you would imagine. And at this point in time, it's like you're light in the forward line and light in the midfield as well. So should definitely use that money. And also, I wouldn't recommend having Pike as a loop at R3 where he doesn't have a second position, because when you're stuck with only one position being the ruck there, you can't really use the flexibility of, for example, if one of your rucks goes down, okay, fine, you can cover for it. But the problem with Pike is that because he doesn't have forward status or any other DPP, you can't do some interesting changes using the flex to cover. So having it only be just purely in the ruck is not necessarily a good way to use your third ruck availability. Plus, we're going to have so many buy rounds where we'll be given, loopholes automatically by virtue of the buy. So I'm not a big believer in starting a dedicated loophole. considering all of the buy rounds that we have this year. So
Yeah.
if you're gonna have Boyd here, which I think you can with the Roma injury, have someone who's probably going to play. It could be a Barnett. It could be, potential from the Eagles, who's apparently training in defense. So that could be someone that you have in the third position.
Yeah, I think even just the inclusion of like a Whitfield and stuff definitely covers you for round 2. I'm pretty sure Brisbane have round 4 bye, so then you've got Ashcroft there as well, and Bailey Smith potentially. So it's not too bad. Just watch and see, but otherwise, maybe Sinclair's the one to move out as well with some talk of other players being injured. Downgrade.
Yeah, Philippo.
Yeah,
Philippo injury definitely hurts. But thanks for the team, Jake. Okay, now we move up to. Oh, this is a 2-parter. Sorry, Nick. We need to have it be in one photo. Screenshot button won't paste for some reason. All right, but does this appear to be only? No, this is a 2.
Go for it, Joe. Go for it.
Go for what?
You want to chuck him in, or we're just going? We're making a blanket. Too bad. Sorry.
I mean, you did say like it needs to be in one. Yeah. It needs to be in one.
That's true. You could have used snipping tool, I suppose.
Yeah,
that's
there is a video.
Yeah, cool.
There is a video.
Next one up. I have done a video, guys. Next time you guys can see it's old school video. When I had some more hair, but yeah, definitely. So Frank I don't know what you're doing, Frank. Come on, mate.
Come on, Frank. You've sent us a forward line and flex. That's about it. Charles, g'day, Charles.
Next, let's go.
This appears to have all of it there. Let's have a look.
2,700 left in the bank. Let's go, boys.
Let's go. All right.
Now, I wish we could zoom this in. Can you press the zoom up on the top right? No, yeah, there you go. Does that work? There you go.
Very nice. Very nice. Can I scroll?
Make it better for us, boys.
Brilliant.
Sheasel, Whitfield, Sinclair, Mills, Trevellia, Bo Allen. I don't mind it. I think going 4 deep or at least 3 deep plus Mills in the back line is good. Yes. I think kind of what we're starting to see now is guys like Leak, potentially an Allen, maybe not a Bice, but there is a few more backline rookies coming in, which is cool. I might even get a Josh Goder in there at some point as well. Bont, Butters, Oliver, Chera, Ashcroft, Peatling. I don't mind it. You are batting somewhat deep, but a couple of guys there who you'd hope are going to end up being keepers or good enough. No 600k locks, though. Smith, Draper, Hewitt, Elwahi, and Anderson. Cherry, DeConning, Boyd. Not too bad. McRae, Smith, Daniel, Keiko. So you're going very, very light in that forward line. You'd hope the first 3, though, are actually keepers. Keiko, Berry, Erasmus should at least play. Johnson and Davidson. So I think... Oh, and Darcy there is the cheeky flex, which is cool. I like the team. I think there's enough good players there, and I think it's taking advantage of the rookies. I would maybe look at seeing if you can do someone from the forward line into the midfield, take advantage of some of those big scoring mids as well. Like missing out on a Sardis, missing out on a few of these other guys. You don't even have a baby Ashcroft as well. I think Will Ashcroft may be injured, Joe, and then baby Ashcroft.
No, Levi. Levi is the one with the
Levi. Okay, cool. So no worries there. I just think there's going to be a few guys missing out on a Sardis, for example. He's probably going to hurt a little bit. He might end up playing quite a lot. So if you can shuffle around some of the points and things like that, maybe grab another forward and then throw someone else into the midfield. But otherwise, I like the thing.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Is pretty impressive.
Yeah, 100%. Like I could tell as soon as I saw in the midfield that we're batting pretty deep. It's gonna have to come out of somewhere. And to be honest, if it is going to come out of anywhere, I do agree that the forward line is probably the place that it can be taken out of. Simply because, I mean, we saw last year the top 6 forwards, didn't crack the 100 average. And if you're thinking that the top forwards aren't cracking 100 average, therefore they're not going to be cracking very high price points, and therefore they're not going to be scoring you a lot of points every single week. So you're prioritizing in the midfield, you're prioritizing the rucks and the back line. And to be honest, those are the places where most of the scoring is being had. You guys know I love my rucks, and seeing all three of these boys is very, very good for me. I love it. Also, not too bad when it comes to round 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So maybe one too many, I think. But this Charles might be doing a start deconning for the good run and then trade him out maybe to a Gorn type situation so that deconning is not around in round 12. By that point, he'd already have flicked them off to Max Gorn after deconning's gone up and Gorn's gone down. So I like it. I like it, Charles. You've been clearly watching our content and others as well. So well done.
Nice. Next
All
up
right.
on the list.
There's the rest of Frank's team. That's the problem, guys, when it comes to having it be split over.
Frank, shoot us a message on Facebook chat. I'll have a look at your team.
Thank you. All right. Next one. We got Voyage from Ada. I love the name. Voyage. Now we can zoom in, but it gets a little bit pixelated in the process. But hey, what can you do?
Go for it, Joe.
Sheasel, Whitfield, Sinclair Mills, Bo Allen Leake, Zach Reed. God, please, I hope you stay fit, mate. Bice, Bont, Butters, Day, Oliver Chera, Cumming, Laylor Smith, Hewitt, Edwards, Sardenholen, Sherry DeConning, Boyd, McRae, Smith, Daniel, Lynch, Kako, Rasmus, Stone, Davidson, and Darcy. Wow, Aiden, $800 left. I can feel how tight you are with cash. I'm looking at this team and I'm thinking, oh boy, this is very interesting. I like it. You've gone obviously a bit lighter in the forward line. I've said it before. If you're going to pick a line to be light in, I don't mind it if it's light in the forward line. Because Lynch, established player, he's going to play every single week. He's fit and healthy. Kako, guaranteed start every single week. Erasmus seems to be training the house down, which is excellent. Got the 3 rucks, which I love to see. Maybe instead of a Laylor, you've paid up big bucks. Seems to be a bit more forward, I think. Obviously, an injury interrupted preseason as well. Could very well be any of, Draper or Elijah Sardis or Levi Ashcroft if he comes good. But he's also been under an injury cloud. All in all, I love this structure personally. Well done, Aiden.
Yeah, it's really, really good. I think as we start to see a few more good rookies come through, kind of going a little bit more solid there, works quite well. Coming back from injury, not terrible. I think maybe you're relying a little bit too much on the 102K rookies, or so like the cheaper 121, 117, now 113K rookies. It may come to bite you a bit, especially in that midfield, but hopefully it fixes out. Obviously, you can move some players around.
Yeah, I mean, Laylor down to Sardis frees up about 10,000. 10,000, and then you can get Bice up to a 123K defender rookie back there.
It's more for me, no Nevitt, no Sardis, no Draper, a few of those kind of 150K played a couple of games last year, guys. That might end up biting you a little bit, but we'll see. There's money to play around with, so it's not the end of the world right now.
Yeah, well, 2 of them are 190 plus. Draper and Sardis are both 190 plus. And then obviously Mitch Nevitt's he's basically 150. So the money has to come from somewhere. It might come from a Cumming, but if he's playing half back at 287, he's gone for a Cumming instead of a Peatling. Maybe you might have seen the reports that Peatling started on a wing. It doesn't have the money, obviously, but in being a cheaper player, it means that he needs to average less, needs to score less to still make the money. And if he's playing off half back, like we think he will play, now that he's back from injury, could actually be maybe a better selection than Peatling. Only time will tell. But thanks for the team, Aiden. Really nice. Jeez, my mouse is very slow. Here we go with Causa, 45,700 in the bank. As had to change around Philippou after the news. Well, fair enough if that's the case.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of jumping in there as opposed to a few other people with Philippou news coming out yesterday. There you go, Joe. Sheasel, Sinclair, Bailey Dale. Now, I know Causa's very hot on the Bailey Dale at the moment. Mills, Travalia, El Huahi. Hopefully, I've spelled said that right. Otherwise,
You are saying it's so bad. It's actually
that's
remarkable.
all right. I'm going to say I'm white, so it's okay. Bont, Butters, Sarong, Merritt. First Merritt I've seen. Peatling.
Yep.
Jagger Smith, Ashcroft, who we spoke about potentially being out. Same with Smiley. So you've got some options there. At least you've got some cash to flush around. Sardis on the bench. I don't mind it. Lindsay and then Moraes, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Gorn, Cherry, Boyd. And then we look at McRae, Bailey Smith, Daniel. Yeah. Mate, a lot of people are going to be running sub $2 million forward lines, and I love it in Supercoach. Like, if you can put the money somewhere else, fantastic. And I think probably outside of Bailey Dale, every single primo that he's got in this team at the moment is someone that you'd hope to keep till the end of the year. Obviously, Peatling's up in the air, but, Gorn, Cherry, McRae, potentially, Sheasel, Sinclair, and then the 4 big mids as well. So there's still some money to be moved around, potentially a Brayshaw down if you want to. Sorry, Sarong to a Brayshaw could free up some cash, but I really like the team. It's solid. True, guns and rookies.
When has guns and rookies ever let you down, Big J? Seriously.
Well, that's
when it's the tried and true that has withheld the passage of time and all the new iterations and things that comes into the game. The guns and rookies will not let you down. And I think I like the structure. The structure.
From memory, Essendon as well have a few early games throughout the start of the season. So someone like a Zach Merritt being Thursday or Friday specialist as a vice captain really does work.
Love Zach Merritt to bits because of the consistency that he brings to the table. Now, he's a consistent 115 average type of player. And because of that consistency, you might think that he's probably not the best option for a VC, because the way you want your VC to work is you want your VC to be someone who has a really high ceiling that could potentially go bonkers whilst not necessarily being the most reliable. And that's why you're getting a free crack at them first, hoping that you get them on their big score game. And then you follow up with a safe, reliable captain that you can back in, week out. So the Bont, someone who has averaged, 120 plus and rarely ever scores under 100. This type of person is reliable as a captain. Same thing with Merritt. Reliable as a captain, regularly scoring over 100. But you might want to go for someone like someone who has a ridiculous high score, like Butters, for example, might go bonkers one week scoring a 160, or it might even be a Sean Darcy who has a great matchup in the ruck and drops a 160 on someone. You want your VC is someone that you want to have a ridiculously high ceiling on any given day. Merritt seems to be more of a better captain option than a vice captain because doesn't necessarily hit the heights of the 160s regularly, but you can more often than not see him score 120. So if you want to start a really high VC option, maybe Merritt isn't necessarily the one to go for, and you want to use him more as a captain. But given our early fixture having so many early games, you can't unfortunately do that. So it might be worthwhile changing Merritt to someone potentially maybe a little bit cheaper, who has a few more games earlier on in the season that doesn't have the early buy. But I am noting, of course, Causa, that you are being very mindful, I think, of round 12. From what I can tell, you've got 2, 4, 6 in total for that buy round. You might want to get it to one less. So maybe it is a Bailey Dale that moves away. But all in all, I think I like the structure a lot. Seems to be a structure that many people will be adopting. Light in the forward line and heavier elsewhere.
Yeah, definitely. Lock in those players so you don't have to spend as many trades, I think.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Causa, legend. All right. Tony Gamma.
Tony, let's go. 13,700 left in the bank. Let's check out the team. Went to Parker after the Filippo news. I don't know what this is. I think it might be like an Apple or something, or a tablet. You know how it comes up and the font's a little bit different?
I think it's a lemon, not an apple. This is a lemon. Tony, get better tech, mate. I'm just checking.
We couldn't figure out the Zoom button, and now we're bagging our fans. Oh my gosh. Sheasel, Clark, Holmes, Mills, something definitely different Haven't seen any homes yet, so you're the first one
No.
up on the list. Bont, Butters, Brayshaw, Will Day, Oliver Draper. So hasn't gone the Peatling. Bit of an antipod there. Smiley, Erasmus. So potential for another player in there as well. There's a couple of close to 200k mids that could be very juicy. Cherry, Matt Flynn. I guess it doesn't matter too much when Gorn is your ruckman. So it could be Cherry Gorn. I think maybe someone's trying to do us a bit of a shifty, Joe. McRae, Bailey Smith, Parker, Daniel, Curtin, Kako, Berry, and Hewitt. I don't know about you. I think the team's pretty good. I think locking in enough players across positions might just be a bit of a wait and see. Round 12 definitely will hurt, but you might, I'll mention the video with DR yesterday. I just talked about, maybe Parker, maybe a couple of these other players just end up being stepping stones, and that's okay. So, yeah, what do you reckon, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, oh jeez, I don't know what I've done there, but yeah, six players in the round 12 bye to my counting, which is not too bad. It's just Sheasel. So that's 1, 3, 5, 7 actually. 7 players in that bye. Bit too much, I think, for my liking. I'd also say that the midfield's probably a bit too light as well, considering that you're fielding Smiley and Erasmus in these 2 spots, whilst other people might be fielding Jagger Smith. Definitely a big omission, I think. So you probably want to have Jagger Smith. You probably want to have Elijah Sardis. You probably also might want to have a slew of other rookies that are a bit more expensive than what you've got here on the bench. Maybe it is freeing up some money because you've got a lot in Flynn and Gorn, and Boyd's going to be number 1 ruck with Roma injured. Just about messing around with the money. And you're right. I mean, not convinced with your mids after what happened. Well, yeah, I think it is a little bit light on. You might want one more. If it's not an extra premium, then it might be a mid-pricer. But certainly you need to have, I think, Jagger Smith. Really important to have Jagger Smith, who seems to be a lock in Carlton's best 22.
You have some money to play around with if you downgrade a Gorn to like a Darcy or a TDK. I know that I'm very, very set on keeping him. But if you do downgrade, you do have some money there. So it's not a big problem. It's just going to be a bit of a play around. Keep the team. I love the team. Just watch training, see how things are going at the moment. And then you kind of update as you go.
On ya, Tony. Love your work, mate. All right, let's scroll up a bit more. We've got Eddie Venema or Venema.
What's up, Eddie?
However, you have 218k in the bank. You can't withdraw this money, Eddie. Leaving cash for upgrade players.
Eddie, you're missing out on like one primo on the field. Maybe the team doesn't look like it, but holy moly. Who is that ruck line, Joe? Take us through the team.
Shazel, Ryan, Mr. Peroxide, bloody hell. Sinclair, Mills, Travalia, Smith, Kipkiss. He's injured again. Allen, Bont, Butters, Oliver, Peatling at M4. Wow, okay. Smith, Draper, Smiley, Lindsay, Kako, Lahole, Erasmus, Sherry, Flynn, Boyd, and English. Okay. Horn, Francis, McRae, Smith, Daniel, Lynch, Berry. Look, forward line's good. Forward line's good. Ruck. Look, I'm personally,
Flynn. I mean, he's got English there. If Flynn was the flex and English was there, okay. But I think English is currently now injured as well. So maybe a downgrade to a Darcy to save some cash. Sorry for cutting you off, Joe. I guess kind of the only problem I have with the team is the midfield kind of sucks. And you're losing out on a player because you've got so much money in the bank. I almost wish you could finesse and move a few players around and end up, keeping Peatling and upgrading someone else to almost a premium. I mean, even an Ashcroft or a Chera for close to the amount of money that you've got, I think might end up being better for you. So just something to watch out for. Looking at the team, potentially a Sinclair down to a Naz, considering Sinclair might get stuck at half back again and then not score as well, or stuck in the midfield, either or. Frees you up about 50k. makes that 250, and then you can go upgrade a Draper or someone else into like an Ashcroft or a Chera, and your team will just look better. But you're missing out on a premium almost by having 218k in the bank, and it's not good. Like having money, like 50k is okay. 200k is too much.
You could get another around 500k, dropping Gipkiss down to a cheaper rookie who isn't injured and likely to play. So this could be a leak, for example. So you could go Gipkiss down to leak, save 30-odd thousand there. That gives you 248k. And then you can chuck that 248k potentially on a Peatling, and you could get another genuine Uber premium instead. So what you've done is you've used the money to improve your bench by having a playing player who seems to be best 22, whilst also getting rid of a mid-pricer who you weren't going to keep and get in an Uber premium there. Just that one move alone bolsters the midfield up immensely. Or alternatively, it could be dropping a Ryan to someone cheaper as well, because you have paid up big bucks here in the back line as well. Ryan could become a Clark. Ryan could be any other premium defender, really, that's cheaper than him. I think he might be the second most expensive premium in the back line. And again, you can put that money on a Flynn, perhaps. Just thinking, just saying. So, but otherwise, the team is mostly all right. I like the rookies other than Gipkiss. They all seem to be. Oh, Smiley's a bit of a question mark as well. Keep tracking the preseason. Yeah. So keep tracking the preseason. Thanks for the team, Eddie. All right, I've pressed X. Come on. Yeah, man. All right, let's keep moving up. So we got Travis.
Trav. Sorry, Trav.
Is this a split team? Yeah, yep. Split team.
Sorry, Trav. Next time, send us a message on Facebook chat.
Next month, guys. It's got to be all in one. We don't want to be, as you can see, the computer can't handle one photo, let alone two photos. So, all right. Zach Hickey with 70,600 in the bank. Mark Kedekane. Okay, Mark Kedekane. Not bad. Shazel, Sinclair, Sicily, Mills, Travalia, Allen, Sad, Whitlock, Bont, Sarong, Rosie, Oliver, Laylor, Smith, Draper, Ashcroft, Sardis, Smiley, Hustwaite, Sherry, DeConning, Fimba! First Fimba, Rankin, McRae, Smith, Daniel, Lynch, Hewitt, Flynn, Paco, and Boyd. Erasmus.
No Boyd. I think Boyd for Finbar is a pretty straight swap. Yes. I don't think Whitlock will play, but you can always get someone around the same price as well. I don't mind the team. We've just spoken about Smiley probably not being an option, but everywhere else is not terrible. Just watch out for those Richmond rookies, Smiley, Laylor. You want to almost figure out some way to get a Peatling or a Cumming or even like a Elijah Hollands. Ollie Hollands, the one that's now going to be playing halfback because of Newman being out. So throw in someone, try and get an M5 that's not a rookie. They will score well, but they're going to be inconsistent. And you want to try and get as much consistency as you can, even though the first few rounds are best 18. Otherwise, the team's not bad.
Yeah, exactly. Again, the similar gist to previous ones, you've gone lighter in the forward line, means you should be heavier elsewhere. And really the most important line you would imagine is your midfield. That's where the big scorers are. And unfortunately, you're fielding 4 rookies there. So you want to get 1 rookie off. I think you probably don't want to field 4. I think 3 is probably the sweet spot. But thanks for the team, Zach. All right. We move up to Trav Bullen, who has 22,600 in the bank. Not sure what to do with Philippou yet because I'm not liking many other forward options. If TDK is solo ruck, I'll probably opt to upgrade Flynn. But I like the cash gen from him and Boyd to turn into my R2 later on. Also have had Ollie Hollands in and out of the side because I like him as a super pod with the new halfback role, but not sold on him yet.
Yeah, 100%. And this is just how the screenshot button works as well, guys. So, it doesn't have to be super clear, but we'll figure it out. I don't mind the team. Sheasel, Sinclair, Jay Clark, Mills, Trevelya, Bo Allen, Bont, Butters, Nick Dacos. First Nick Dacos today. Caleb Sarong, Oliver Peatling. So going very, very big in that midfield.
Yes.
Cherry, Matt Flynn. We just spoke about kind of why he's got Matt Flynn. McRae, Bailey Smith, Philippou. How much money does he have? 22K. Maybe we'll have to do some finagling. Caleb Daniel, Lynch, Joe Berry, Keiko, and Davidson and Ashcroft. Now, I don't mind the team. Trav, if you're set on a Flynn at that position, okay. I do think it's going to be trouble for yourself, but if you set, cool, no worries. Usually it's ruck, set, and forget for a reason, because if they just don't score well, they're going to plateau very, very quickly in scoring and in price value. The only thing I would probably say is maybe a Philippou up to a Parker if you can. 22K gets you very close. Potentially get rid of a Berry, get someone else in the team, and then throw Kako as there as F6, and you can get very, very close to a Philippou to a Parker. Otherwise, I really like this team, Joe. It's gone super big in the midfield and could work out well for him. Like 4 players over 600K. Oliver there to finish off that midfield as well. You just hope Dacos, no plantar fasciitis, but that's obviously a risk.
Yeah, exactly. Well, early buy plus the foot complaints and the way Nick Dacos plays the game, he is skill personified, but so much of that is just in the sheer gut running that he covers to free himself up and to do what he needs to do. So for me, given the way he plays, being more of an outside player, managing a really difficult foot complaint, plus the early buy, plus that price point, yeah, for me, I wouldn't go there. But you know, if your gut tells you and you've considered all of those facts that I've just said, but you still are willing to go with them despite the risk, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. If this is ultimately your team and your decisions, all we can do is just tell you what we think. And of course, you would feel like crap, to be honest, if you were talked out of a pick that ends up being super successful and you just feel that regret of not having backed your gut in. There's nothing worse. Life's too short to live with regrets, Trav. So if you're really set on Flynn and Dacos, then go for it.
Quick jab there, Joe.
Yeah, there you go. Just some of this little sprinkle that you get here from the center bounce.
Yeah.
But I like it. If you're going lighter in the forward line, it's because you're going heavier elsewhere, and you have gone really heavy here, and that's what I like. You know, you're really making use of your money to, nothing. Davidson's a good rookie, Kako's a good rookie, Boyd's a good rookie, Rasmus, Saad, Hewitt, Bustlinger potentially, but this could very easily be Leak otherwise, and Smith. So, you know what, Trav? This is a great team all in all. Can't really fault it, to be honest.
Yep. I like it.
Love it. All right. Troy Marshall.
Hey, Troy, let's go, Troy.
6,300 in the bank. 100%. I changed the side more than 10 times before the.
Mate,
10 times.
Me too. It's all right. Velo's Vampires. So big Velo member of the channel, Velo. So thank you very much. Diesel, Ryan,
Velo.
Whitfield, Mills, Trevelya, and Bo Allen. So another Luke Ryan, Joe. I know you must love him. Bont, Butters, Brayshaw, Rao. First Rao we've seen. Gold Coast with an early fixture. I mean, this could be the last year in the, I was going to say gold and orange, but yellow and orange, or orange and red, whichever colors you can see there. Oliver Peatling, so another mass in the midfield. Smith, Lindsay, Gawn, DeConning, McRae, Bailey Smith, Daniel Curtin. That works, Daniel Curtin, because Daniel and then Curtin. Berry, Hewitt, Stone, and Hall. I do not mind this team with Boyd on the flex, Joe. It's very interesting. It's a bit different. Kind of no Cherry. So first team, I think, that we haven't seen a Cherry so far. But yeah, I don't mind it. It's really strong. Just kind of, for myself, wait and see preseason kind of players you got to move around. But I can see, I think the trend a little bit now is to maybe include 1 or 2 of the early buy players just to navigate the round 12 buy. And he is not going to get affected much by that round 12 buy with this team.
Yep. Only 5 players in the Shees. 1, 3, 4, 5.
Mm,
And DeConning
yeah.
could potentially, even if DeConning was to be traded to a Sherry, they still share that same buy anyway. So you're going to have 5 players in round 12. And I think that is the sweet spot. You might have seen, I'm sure you would have, Velo. You're a very loyal viewer and one of our favorites here on the channel. So you would have seen my team review as well as catched us on, or caught us on all the live streams. Definitely think 5 in round 12, 5 premiums, 5 keepers out that week is a sweet number. And if you have at most 5 in that given week, I think you're very confidently going to rise up the ranks and score a lot of points on a lot of people because of just how stacked that buy is. And they're stacked with really important players like the Shees. You want the Shees. Bont and Butters. You want these two. You want Daniel. You know what I mean? So these are really important players that you have. Oh, Matt Rowell is the interesting one. Every other player, I think they're all very good, but Matt Rowell is your point of difference, Velo, and I love it because I've
Mm,
also looked at that early fixture for the Gold Coast Suns, and it is
juice.
P155 easy. It is
Yeah.
P155 easy. That's how easy it is. Ridiculous. So you're gonna go with Matt Rowell, talking with Geelong, potentially making a move to the category at the end of the year. We'll see. So he's going to probably play his heart out to get himself a nice, big, juicy contract. Interesting. I like the play. Nice
Mm.
team, Bella.
Yeah, sometimes these kind of cheeky pods, you want to be the one that's got them, so everyone else ends up having to chase them. So could work out very well for
Exactly.
you.
Exactly. This is going to give you a nice big jump out. Now, of course, you, unlike other teams, will be more affected because you've got a Whitfield early buy, Rowell is an early buy player, Smith's an early buy, Mills an early buy. You've got a few more early buy players who you anticipate to score you pretty well, some of your premiums. So, but that I think it's worth it though, considering the fixture that the Gold
Yeah.
Coast Suns have.
Even GWS's early fixtures pretty
Mm,
bonkers. So Whitfield should go
correct.
be. Yeah.
Well done, Velo. Love it. All right. Ronan Biz. I've coaxed myself into coaxed. It's a very
Yep.
underutilized word. I love it,
Yep.
Ronan. Coaxed myself into picking Lynch for now because of the Newmanless Carlton, then Poor, then a battle-less St Kilda. But if
Yep.
anyone else presents, I'll gladly drop him. Could downgrade Gawn to Sherry if I need the cash, and Darcy to Flynn if he gets the role.
Yeah, I think kind of the training reports for Tom Lynch at the moment have actually been pretty decent anyway. So you might just want to keep him as being, hey, not a terrible pick. Um, Makes you a little bit of money, kind of how Tex Walker was a couple of years ago. I mean, if you can get Tom Lynch to 350, 400K, which you can do after like 2 games of 3 or 4 goals, you're laughing at that point. Take us through the team, Joe.
And and also the interesting is because you're playing him in the flex, not necessarily going to be counted as in your score. So if he
Mm.
has a crap full forward score where he doesn't score any goals, then that score doesn't count in your best 22. But if he does kick a bag and scores really well, then he can kick out one of your low rookie scores. So you get the free hit every single week that Tom Lynch plays. So this could be the 1 year or the first year, because I'm pretty sure this flex position will stay. This will be the first year down the track where you get to play potentially a genuine full forward with the hope that they can make a lot of money really quickly. So
Mhm.
I think because you've processed it step by step, looked at the fixture, kept track of the training reports. Ronan, I don't think that it is wrong. And I don't want you to think that you are wrong for selecting a full forward in Tom Lynch. I think he definitely presents value, especially when you break it down logically in that way. We just want to make sure that we're not here to just give people fish. We're here trying to teach people how to fish so that they can make informed decisions down the track and not necessarily just follow the crowd. So you've
Yeah.
broken it down. Very well done.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the first Paddy Cripps as well that I've seen so far. And just to kind of add on to what Joe says, the people that do all the preparation in the preseason are the ones that, first off, have a better team generally, but then also kind of trust the process a little bit more and aren't as, Lynch had a bad game. Well, he's got 5 good games afterwards, but you do those impulsive trades. So, yeah, congratulations. It's going to work quite well for you. And you got enough money to move around some players too.
Yeah, 50K. 50K says a lot, has a lot that you can do with 50K. Let's have a look. I mean, Smith was thinking this is a good backline, very solid backline. You're fading Butters. Is that because you don't? Is it because? I mean, no. You've got.
Well, he's got Horton
Steve,
Francis there, so maybe he only wants one of the guys. Maybe he doesn't want a second one. I think Port have round 12 by as well, so it might end up being a few more. Too many round 12. Well, yeah. Well, they got Cripps too.
Cripps is in that buy as well, so it's not necessarily, you know what I mean? Like you're not avoiding round 12 with Cripps. So I definitely think Butters will out average Cripps. I mean, Cripps had a record-breaking season last year. I don't think he's going to back that up with extra help in the midfield, personally speaking. So, anti-potting Butters is a gutsy move, Ronan. So it's a big call to make if you really think he's going to regress. Yeah, if you think he's going to regress somehow, then that's a big call to make. So we'll see how that goes. But otherwise, in terms of the premium structure in the team, yeah, very, very positive. Nice. I like it, Ronan. Let's have a look. Bo Porter. Is this split into 2? Yes, it is. Sorry, Bo. William Johnson. William Johnson. Yeah. This seems to be all in one.
17K left. Let's check out the team.
That's a lot of money. Platypus. Nice team name. Platypus.
Sheasel Mills. Wow. Okay, then. Sheasel Mills, Schoenmaker, who I've heard might not even be best 22 at the moment, seems to be competing for Battle's lost spot with a couple of other players. Coleman, who could be back. Trevelyan, Bontempelli. I'm not even going to pronounce Sard. I'm going to call him Sard from now on.
Just call him Sard. Yeah.
Butters, Sarong, Oliver, Ashcroft, Peatling. So very, very good there. Guthrie, first Guthrie we've seen, Joe. I don't know if you want to take a Guthrie over a Sardis, but I guess you could kind of watch and see what happens. Jagger Smith, Draper, Ashcroft, Bo Allen. Very, very expensive. Very, very, very expensive. Cherry, DeConning, Boyd, McRae, Bailey Smith, Philippou, who obviously you'll need to change. Daniel Silvani. So the first Silvani we've seen. I don't know if he's going to be a viable pick. Lynch, Curtin, Hewitt, and then Flynn. I don't mind the team, but I do think you need to move a few players around. You're just not spending much in the back line, and there's a lot of good players in the back line this year. And, a lot of good rookies in other positions. In my head, I almost want you to throw some Guthrie cash, potentially a Draper, Ashcroft cash,
chuck on to Schoenmaker or Coleman. Yeah.
Throw some more upgrades into that back line because you're going to suffer.
Yeah. This is the lightest line we have seen of any team. Like just from Sheasel straight to Mills at the D2, then Schoenmaker, Coleman. So, you have gone heavy in the midfield for sure, but it is going to come at a cost because, Guthrie, I said it last year, he's old and might not make, and will definitely not make it through the season. Last year, I didn't know how long he would last. I did not anticipate him to last only 5 seconds in a game. So, is that going to happen again this year? No guarantees, but for sure, I think the back line, there are some really good players, as Big J says, in the back line. I think you can afford to play some rookies in the forward line. I think Silvani, even if he does play, I don't think he's going to outscore Kako. I don't think he's going to really outscore Joe Berry or Connor Stone if he's playing off halfback. I think there's a bunch of rookie price players that can be very serviceable in the forward line. So you can afford to go lighter here. And if it means shoring up the back line, because Beist might not play. Sard's fighting with Archie Roberts. Now, considering the fact that Ridley's gone down with injury, Archie Roberts probably goes back line. Sard might play. Reed, who knows if he stays healthy? A lot of question marks, William. bolster up that back line would certainly be our recommendation.
Yeah, I think so.
Harry Freeman,
What's up, Harry?
Got 26.1k in the bank. I like this team, but my only slight worries is the forward line. Thoughts?
Let's check it out,
the
Harry.
forward line, the Smallwood line. Five nights at Frio's.
5 nights at Frio's. There we go.
I like that. Very nice, Harry. Very nice.
Sheasel, Whitfield, Holmes, Mills. So another Holmes, another Whitfield. I don't think he cares too much about the early buys, but that's fine. Trevelyan and Sard in the back line. Leak is not a bad pick as well. Bontempelli, Butters, Brayshaw, Oliver, Peatling. So kind of going 4 to 5 deep. Obviously, Hollins is not going to be a keeper, but he should make you some quick cash, which is kind of the similar thing you should have in your head alongside a Peatling. Jagger Smith, Ashcroft, who we spoke about potentially being a bit injured, similar to a Smiley as well. So you can offload one of those guys or both and then move around, get a Sardis, get a couple of other people. I'm really keen on Fino Sullivan at the moment, Joe. So he could be another option as well. Gawn, Cherry, Boyd. Cool. McRae, Bailey Smith, Daniel, Lynch, Powell Pepper. So first Powell Pepper we've seen. Hewitt, Berry, Davidson, and Flynn. So no Kako, which is interesting. What do you think of the team?
Yeah, look, I don't mind if you don't want to go with a Kako. Just the question is, is Anderson going to play? So, I mean, you got 26k. Could you get to a Kako? Probably not. 113 plus 26 is 139. Yeah, not quite enough to afford a Kako there. But I don't think Powell Pepper. I mean, Powell Pepper could be an interesting one. I mean, he's priced very cheaply. Probably going to play bulk minutes in the forward line. Do we think that Port's going to be good? Do we think he's going to get a lot of the pill? That's a question mark. Will he have maybe some spike games where he hits the scoreboard? Maybe. Who knows? Yet to be determined. So maybe a Powell Pepper could be downgraded to someone maybe a bit cheaper. And then you can bolster Anderson. I mean, Powell could be Stone playing off halfback for the Giants, for example. And then you can have money to upgrade Anderson then to a more substantial rookie. Or maybe chucking it onto Smiley for someone who will play. Could be a Sardis or could be a Draper. These are specific selections that time will tell come the start of the season. But in terms of the structure, I think
it's not bad.
I think it's decent. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Cheers,
on to the next team, Joe. Harry, thank you very much. Gavin.
Gav. Is this two?
Yes,
it's two.
Gav. Next time, shoot us a message on Twitter, Gav, or Facebook chat. Got to get those one team pictures, mate. It was in the instructions.
It's Joe Double J.
Hey, that's almost me and you, Joe and J.
Hey, it's Joe with a big J and a little J. Hey, boys, got 12.1k in the bank. I wanted to take more risk with someone like a Luke Ryan. But with Pooh out, I needed money to get Horn Francis.
That seems to be the way it goes at the moment, unfortunately. Harry Sheasel, Sinclair, Jai Clark, Mills, Trevelyan, Bo Allen. Okay, no worries. Bont, Butters, Brayshaw, Oliver, Peatling. So another Peatling at M5. So it's okay. Jagger Smith, Draper, Smiley, Gawn, Cherry, Boyd, Horn Francis, McRae, Bailey Smith, Daniel, Kako, Erasmus, Hewitt, and Davidson, and then Ashcroft. I don't mind the team. I think it's going to be similar to a lot of people. There is potential for some money to be moved around as well, which is what we like. What do you reckon, Joe?
Yeah. I think they will be needing some money to be moved around because I'm not entirely sure how far you're going to go with Charleston and Archie Wicks, both 99k rookies. So, Joe, you're going to need to finagle some money and get these Charleston and Day Wicks up to genuine rookies. We can't afford every single rookie and we can't fit them all in. We need to pick the best ones, and not entirely sure if these two are even going to be named. Better to start your team having the more expensive rookies ready to go because come start of the season, if they are not named and someone cheaper is named, then it's very easy to go down to them. But with the way your team is set up, come start of the season, if all the expensive rookies are named, then you're going to have to find a lot of cash to get these two up. So that's all I would say for now at the moment. Otherwise, in terms of structure, it looks good. On you, Joe. All right. Sandra Bain.
Maybe that's the Sandra from your work, Joe. Sandra
Nah.
jumped on the channel and seeing what it's like. 44K in the bank may change Parker Lynch back to Horn Francis. Cheer, guys, for all you do. Thank you very much for Sandra for watching.
Cheers,
Let's
Sandra.
scroll in a bit. Sheasel, Whitfield, another Clark in the back line. Mills, Trevelyan, Leak. Cool, no dramas. Bont, Butters, Brayshaw, Oliver, Will Ashcroft, Peatling, Smith, Draper. Cool. Cherry, Darcy. McRae, Bailey Smith, Parker, Daniel, Lynch. Cool. I do not mind this team. I think it's okay. Going Boyd at flex is interesting, but it does allow you to put some money in other places. So just kind of have to take that into account. Joe, what do you reckon?
Yeah, going Boyd at flex allows her to get an extra midfielder in the midfield. So it's another rookie off. So now she's only fielding Smith and Draper, which is very nice. 44K. You can chuck that onto Anderson. Maybe get a Kako, for example. Another gun, which is another gun player who you're sure that you're going to get, best 22 games out of him. I love it, Sandra. This is a very nice team. Not overly stacked as well for round 12 without having Horn Francis. You've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you've got 6. Actually, you've got the max allocation. If Parker becomes Horn Francis, then obviously that still stays at 6. You probably don't want to add any more. You don't want to add any more to that round 12. So if you're going to add Horn Francis, it's going to have to be at the expense of a Parker type. Don't keep Parker and Horn Francis because then you'll have 7 players out that buy round, and that will really hurt. So as of right now, great structure. I love it, Sandra.
No dramas, Sandra. Looks good. Just watch and see for preseason games, obviously, and
of course,
change as you go.
Is Fino Sullivan? You're a big fan of Fino Sullivan. Here he is.
Hey, he could be watching. Like, this could be the legit Fino Sullivan. He follows the channel. I know he's been in the chat a few times. Joe, let's quickly check out that profile picture. It could really be.
No. It's fine. It's not.
Sheasel,
Whitfield, not him.
Sinclair. Sheasel, Whitfield, Sinclair, Mills, Josh Sin. So first Josh Sin we've seen. Now, there has been some talk as well around Kane Farrell being in the rehab group. What's happening with Sin? Big watch and see with that kind of position. But similar to a few of these other players, you just need them to make some money early. Caleb Smith, Bont, Butters, Brayshaw, Oliver, Peatling. I like it. Jagger Smith, Draper, Lindsay. Cool.
Yep.
Gorn, Cherry, Boyd, McRae, Bailey Smith, Parker, Daniel, Joe Berry, Hewitt, Connor Stone, Davidson, and Flynn. So picking up a lot of the good cash cows, which is very, very good. I don't mind this team, Joe. I think it's going to be similar to what the cookie cutter, not cookie cutter, but the solid starting team that a lot of people are going to be playing.
100%. No, this is very, very solid. Finn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6. Max. That's a max number for me. I think if you have any more than 6 in round 12, then alarm bells definitely have to be ringing. 6, I think, is the max that you can have for that buy round. Very nice team. Very solid. Only the 3 rookies on the field. You've got the gun Rux. Very nice. Very nice. On your Finn. Good stuff, mate.
Thanks, Finn.
Harvey Sutherland with 18K in the bank.
We're slowly getting there, guys. So if you're still watching, hopefully your team's coming up soon. You can obviously see kind of the progression there. Sheasel, Sinclair, Mills, backline. So a little bit easier. Trevelyan, El Huahi. I said that wrong again. I'm going to call him Saad. Don't worry, guys. Leak, Smith, and Trainer. So Trainer we haven't heard much about, but you can always move some money around. Bont, Dacos, Sarong, Will Day, Oliver, Ashcroft. So very, very big in that midfield. Jagger Smith, Draper, Lindsay there, obviously. Cherry, Darcy, Horn Francis, McRae, Bailey Smith, Daniel, Tom Lynch, Hewitt, and then Ashcroft as the flex. It's not bad. I think he's trying to maximize a little bit and then minimize as much as he can, but Mills D3 hurts, I think. Hurts my brain a little bit, Joe.
Oh, he's sort of really hoping that these rookies can score really well, like Toby, with some intercept marks, playing on a wing. You could almost Mason Wood leak. Seems to have been getting some really glowing reports. Really an on-field option. And Saad, if he's playing on that wing, drifting to halfback, could also really be an on-field option. So, trying to maximize the value, I think, in the midfield is what they're trying to do with both Day and Ashcroft. Day costs, not entirely sure how much value is baked into day costs. If you're really trying to play the value game with the early buy plus the foot concern, not entirely sure how much upside there is with the Nick Dacos starting selection. But other than that, this is a very good team, Harvey. Very good team, very sound. I like it. Good stuff, mate. Right. We then move to Mark Lavelle. On you, Mark. We love you, mate.
Mark.
My best for the new season. First drafted Big J. Hey, Joe. Draper has a fix, mate. Draper. Oh, don't tell me you've got Sam Draper in your team. Come on, Mark. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Oi. All I can say is
I love it, though. I love it. He's a ruckman who's going to kick goals for us this year, all right? He's going to do it. Now, Mark, you know that he's sharing the ruck with young Nick Bryan. Come on. You can't do this, Mark. I know you love him, but you can't do it. You got Pryor and Reed on the Sheasel, Whitfield, Sinclair, Mills, Pryor, Reed, Bont, Brayshaw, Noah Anderson. Yes. All right. This is breakout territory. Yep. Oliver, Peatling, Smith, Draper, Ashcroft, Sherry Darcy, Juan Francis McRae, Daniel Lynch, Kako, Berry, Patton. Yes, potentially. Yep. Stone. Yep. Very cool. Look,
Draper.
The structure's fine. The structure's fine, right? It's the Draper, all right? It's the Draper. You're really counting on a breakout here, Mark. I love it. I wish he does break out, because if he does, then it means the Bombers are doing good. But I just don't think it's going to happen. You could very well ditch Draper for a Flynn type. Free up $200,000 there, and you can put it onto any one of these rookies, maybe, or onto Dev Robb, who I don't think is going to play. Charleston, I don't think is going to play. I was going to play either. So I just want to, Bice, I don't think he's going to play. So there's a bunch of rookies here that need to be fixing. They need to be fixed up. But otherwise, it's unique. And the structure isn't technically bad, because you've got the 3 premiums and the 1 in Mills. You've only got the 3 rookies on the field here. You've gone for the lock and the super value. You've gone a bit lighter in the forward line, but many people have. So for all of its, eccentricity, it still has decent structure. And for that, Mark, I must commend you on having structure and personality at the same time.
Yeah, I really like the team. I think just one of those ones that's a little bit wait and see. Probably too many Essendon players in there for my liking, but everyone seems to be playing half back, and we don't know what's happening with Jordan Ridley at the moment. So Pryor might end up being a good pick. Just different, but sometimes different is very good. So watch and see for the preseason and have at it, I think.
Mate, it's different that wins the whole thing. You can't have the exact same team as everyone else. And this is an exact example of a team that has structure but has its own individual flair with people that they believe in. Mark, I love it for all of the right reasons. This is the spirit of the game right here. And it's not because he's a fellow Essendon man. It's genuinely a person who enjoys to play the game, wants to do well, but wants to do it his way. So I love it, Mark. Good stuff.
Yep.
We then get to Daniel Bob Claridge. On your Bob. I'm just worried about Sheasel and his forward mid-roll.
Yeah, it is something to think about, but we'll see what happens. First Flanders we've seen so far, Joe. So and first Newcomb that we've seen as well. So someone a little bit different there. Flanders, Sheasel, Ryan, cool. Sinclair, so five big guns plus a sin.
Ooh,
So
and
really,
Mills.
really not
Ooh,
caring
yeah.
too much, which is, could end up working quite well for you. Bont, Nick Dacos, Newcomb, Oliver Peatling. So definitely something a little bit different. You'd hope someone like a Cam Guthrie, who you've got at M6, ends up being, more than just 278K. But if he plays, he'll go up in value. Draper, Bo Allen, Sard, Hall, and Morales. I think
Morales.
That's all right. I got Spider-Man on my brain. I think I'll read out the rest of the team and then I'll kind of give my thoughts a little bit. Gorn, Flynn, Horn, Francis, McRae, Daniel, Lynch, Powell, Pepper, Erasmus, and Hustwaite. I think you've spent too much in the back line and you're missing out on some key players across other positions. I hope it works very well for you, but there are some okay cash cows in the back line this year. You don't need to go super deep, but I think you might be missing out on some players. So I don't know if Flynn works. Maybe he does. It's going to be okay. But that flex position hurts my brain a bit. So, yeah, what do you reckon, Joe?
Yeah, and I think by paying up so much in the back line, it end up maybe not being able to afford the players that you really want in the midfield, which is why, unless you really do believe that Newcomb is going to take that next step, but at that price, you're really hoping Newcomb does become a keeper for the whole year, top 8 mid. And I don't know if that's the case or not. Only time will tell, of course, but I do agree. I think you have overpaid in the back line, but if this is what you think is going to score you the best, then you do you, Dan. Thank you very much for that. We have Girish Baga with 70k left in the bank. Was hoping to start for Liverpool, but the news of stress factor ruined that and swapped him for Dia instead. Kalshadir? Yep. But isn't Kalshadir also injured?
Yeah, I think he also is injured as well, Grish. So have a look at the training reports. You've got Gibkiss in the back line, who's also injured.
He's injured too, yeah.
And then Smiley. It's an interesting team. All I'm going to say, I think maybe you need to do some rethinking though. Sheasel, Wanganeen, Miller, cool. Mills at D3. I think you're a little bit too light in that back line. Draper, Trevellia, Gibkiss. Woden. Wow. Sard in the back line as well. Butters, Sarong, so no Bont. Will Day, Chera, Peatling, cool. Jagger Smith, Draper, Smiley. I don't know if it's a bit too light, but could work out okay for you. Chera, De Conning, Horn, Francis, Rankin, Smith. So definitely put a bit more money in there. Cal Shadir, Daniel, Powell, Pepper as well. And then Curtin and Keiko and Ashcroft. Joe, thoughts on the team? Obviously needs to fix up a few injured rookies. But that's just a case of moving some money around. What do you think of the structure?
I'd have no issues going lighter in the forward line, fielding some of these rookies that I think are going to score comparable to these other players and bolstering up the... I do agree. I think the back line is a little bit light. Maybe getting Mills to D4. I think that's the ideal. If you want to forego Bond because you think he's too expensive, then that's entirely up to you. Not a problem. That's your judgment call to make. But I don't think Draper and Dia individually are great selections. I think you're better off going for a premium rather than 2 mid prices. Go for a premium and a rookie, and I think we'll do better for you. But thanks for the team, Giddish. All right. Is this a 2-1? This is a 2-parter. Sorry, Jacob. It's got to be a 1-part.
Come on down, Matt.
Matt Longhurst. Hopefully. Big love the team name, Matt. Love the team name. Like, very classy.
Oh, Jack O's making a comeback. I tell you what. Stewart. Who? Dan Rioli, mate. He's done his knee. Sard as what? All right. Okay. Jaden Short's currently injured as well. Mills and then Sard in the back line. Bont, LDU, okay. Tom Green, Oliver, Ashcroft, Peatling. So at least you put some money in there. Not sure about the picks as much. Cherry, De Conning, Jackson. First Jackson we've seen, Joe. McRae, Bailey Smith, Daniel, Kako, Hewitt, and then Boyd at the flex. Initial thoughts outside of Big Dan Rioli at D2. He's currently injured. We're not bagging the pick too much, but he's currently injured.
Now, my initial thoughts are Matt wants to win 50K and he wants to do it his way, which means that he's going to do things outside of the square by picking some of these. He's really loading up on pods. Stewart's a pod, Rioli a pod, Sard's a pod. LGU's pretty potty. Tom Green, I think, is pretty potty. Jackson's definitely potty. And this Jackson news selection, I assume, is in light of Big Sean Darcy going to Qatar, to Doha. He's not actually injured. He had participated in all of the drills, so
he's not recovering from being injured.
Yeah, but he's not actually going to get like a surgery or something to get fixed up. He's just going for follow up, I suppose, advice. So if Darcy comes back, which we all anticipate he will, don't think Jackson. I think that's way too expensive for a guy who's not even a top 6 forward, in my opinion. So I would drop Jackson and put the money in the back line. Tom Stewart, he's old, but he's got the role, I think, at half back again. So if you're counting on a very late career breakout, you can. Sard, I anticipate this is because of the news, what happened to injury to Newman. So you think Sard's going to be the man? Short, because Rioli's gone. So this is big baller. He's just going for big baller stuff. But the problem is they all have a lot of risk baked into it. So this is.
I mean, Rioli's injured. So you got to trade him out.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So he has to go.
I did say that Short was injured. I got Short messed up with Baker, who's gone over to the West Coast and got injured.
Correct. So there's risk. There is inherent risk baked into all of these selections. And if they all work, then, mate, you're on to an absolute winner. But if they all fail, or one of them fails, and highly owned players like Shazel pop off in the midfield, and you don't have him, then that hurts. And it could be close to season over before the season over even begins. But it's entirely up to you if you want to play balls to the wall.
Yep.
Like it, Matt. I like it. Hock ball, 3,900 left. Like Sicily and
Sicily and Baker as pods. Hey,
well, Baker is
injured.
Baker's injured, unfortunately now, so he has to go.
Yep.
The way of the dodo. Otherwise,
Sheasel, Sinclair, Dan Houston. So first Dan Houston we've seen. I think first Sicily we've seen as well. No Mills in the back line, which is very interesting. Bo Allen, Caleb Smith, couple of rookies on the bench. Cool. Bont, Butters, Will Day. So going a little bit cheaper, but something similar to what I might do in my team. Oliver Jagger Smith. Wow. Cool. 4 primos, mate. Draper, Lindsay, Erasmus. So cool. Cherry, DeConning, Horn Francis Baker, who we've spoken about. Excuse me, McRae, Caleb Daniel, Dan Curtin, Hewitt, Stone, and then Berry. I'm going to hit you with initial thoughts just in a sec, Joe, but too many rookies in the midfield. Backline is strong. A few locks. I'm not sure on a Sicily because apparently he might play a bit forward. Otherwise, it's okay. Just double ruck round 13. Round 12 hurts a little bit, but, you know, DeConning could become Sean Darcy or someone else and not have to worry too much.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not even, I mean, there's that, but it's also the fact that I think he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 keepers out that week as well. So that hurts. I think 7 is too many. Sicily in Houston, you just, I don't know, like we're picking him without having, he's going to miss round 0. So that doesn't really matter because of his suspension. So you'll see him in round 1, hoping that he gets up and performs really well in the new club. He could very well be a top 6. Early buy sucks. Sicily early buy sucks. Will Day early buy sucks. So we've got a few early buy players, and Baker obviously has to be fixed. And Smith also is an early buy. But you don't have Mills, whereas a lot of people do. Look, overall, interesting team. I know you're a Hawthorn supporter from Sicily. Yeah.
Just don't have too many early buys, and I think you'll be okay.
Correct.
Well, one or two at a max from each is all right if you're super keen on the pick, but you're losing like $1 million by having Sicily and Will Day, and probably a couple of others in there as well. So just to watch out for it.
Just watch out. Otherwise, nice team, Hockball. All right. Andrew Patterson has given us an essay with his team.
Let me read this out for you, Joe. Made some adjustments after finding out about poo and doubts on English. Only 6.5K in the bank. Cool, that's all right. But a bit of wiggle room with 7 rookies, over 140K. Starting with 15 keepers, counting D, Wilson, and Lynch as rookies. Okay. Hoping for Mills, McRae, Daniel, and Bailey Smith can be keepers. Starting keepers missing in. Cool. Okay. One thing I would say, guys, is that we do have 40 trades. So be mindful of round 12, but don't care too much because you're going to be able to move players around. Guys like Parker and Daniel, potentially, and a couple of others, can just be stepping stones. I think Peatling, for a lot of people, is going to be similar. Joe, take us through the team.
Cheese, Whitfield, Sinclair, Mills, Travalia, Smith with Reed and Bice. Very nice backline. I love it. Butters Day, Oliver, Peatling, Smith, Smiley, Nevitz. Nice. And these are all very good rookies. I like it. Nank the Tank. It is the Scottfather's weapon. Darcy, Boyd, McRae, Smith, Wilson, Daniel, Lynch, Berry, DeConning, Kako, Davidson. I love the team. I love the team. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4? 5. 5 keepers gone in round 12. I love it. Great team. I love it, Andrew.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Nice. Excellent. Good stuff. All right, so let's get
Just watch
going.
out and trade players around if you have to.
Josh Steen with 1.6K left. Jeez, Whitfield, Sinclair, Allen, Hassard, Reed, Bont, Butters, Brayshaw, Day, Oliver, Peeling, Smith, Smiley, DeConning, Darcy with Sherry. Oh, beautiful. McRae, Smith, Daniel, Lynch, Berry, Davidson. I love me some triple ruck action. And Boyd, very excellent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that's the max for round 12 in my opinion. Great team. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think just watch and see. Backline, I don't know if we're going to get 5 to 6 good rookies in there. You can always downgrade Gibkiss and get another player. I've heard Bice might not be as automatic of a startup, so just kind of have to watch out for those kind of players. But I think this team would do very, very well if it had a Mills instead of a Bo Allen at the same position. I just don't know where you're going to get the money. If you have to downgrade like a Darcy to a Flynn or someone like that, potentially, to kind of facilitate it, but it feels like it wants one more mid-price or one more good selection because you have gone so cheap in that forward line. Like, yeah, that would be my only thing. Otherwise, really nice team.
Well, that's where something has to go, right? When you're having when you're winning the triple ruck, then it's bound to happen. So he's made his selection of where he's sacrificing. I think that's that. G'day, Michael. 9,700 in the bank. Okay. Cheezel, Sinclair, Clark, Trevelyan, Allen Smith, Bont, Butters, Brayshaw, LDU, Oliver, Peatling. Okay, gone deep. Smith, Draper, Sherry, DeConning, and Darcy deep in the rucks as well. McRae, Daniel. Yeah, see, that's what happens. It's what happens. You get super
Where's
light
all the
in
money?
the midfield. Yes.
The money's disappeared, bro. The money's gone. If Caleb Daniel is your F5, sorry, not F5, F2. If Caleb Daniel is your F2, I don't know if you need to rethink your life choices, but you might need to rethink your life choices a little bit. It's
no
it's a bit rough.
Robo.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough and may need a bit of a rejigging of the team. You can put a Flynn in and free up some cash. Probably get rid of one of your midfielders. I think we're going to get probably 6 good mids. At the very least, offload a Smiley because I don't think he's going to play much, at least to start. He's a bit expensive and he seems to be injured at the moment. So, yeah, I could see a forward line like this. I'm trying to figure out in my head where the money's gone, because I look at a forward line like this and I'm like, okay, you spent up a lot in the back line and compensating with less rookies in the forward line, but it doesn't feel like it too much.
It's all
But
here.
maybe it is. Maybe that's what it is, Joe. But yeah, it's a little bit rough.
It's here and here. It's the third primo ruck and the extra almost 600k primo mid. If this was split, this could be downgraded, and then the money could be chucked onto Bice and on Curtin for a Bailey Smith here and a Mills there. You know what I mean? Like, and that all of a sudden just improves the balance of the team and gets 2 rookies off the field just by doing that. So, all in all, though, decent structure. Thanks for the team, Michael. Is this a 2-parter? Yes, this is a 2-parter for Joe Clark. Sorry, Joe.
Sorry, Joe. Let's quickly check if Michael has a 2-parter. I don't think so. I think he might, Joe.
Mitchell.
Mitchell. Sorry, Mitchell. One page only, mate. We did say 1 page only.
All right, Jaden Ford Wolf. On you, Jaden. This looks like a full team to me. You love to see it. 26k in the bank. All right. Cheezel, Whitfield, Mills. All right. It's a bit light. Alan Patton. Smith, Gibkiss. Okay, yeah, we're a bit light. Bont, Dacos. Yep. Oliver, Chera, Ashcroft, Pitling. Okay, so you're a bit deeper here. Yeah, and you've gone to the triple ruck. Yep, thought so. McRae, Smith, Sanders. A lot of trust in Bevo. Is it warranted? Daniel, Reef McInnes, Elijah Hewitt. All right, this is an interesting team, Jaden. Very interesting team. I would say you probably need 1 more in the back line. And I think you can afford to drop a Riley Sanders type, because I don't trust Bevo as far as I can throw him. And I can't throw Bevo at all. That's how little I trust Bevo, especially with this kid. So, but, you know, it's your judgment call to make at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just, as we go through the preseason, we just need to start tracking a few more of these rookies and kind of figuring out who's going to play and who's not going to play. Ashcroft, potentially, we've talked about being injured at the moment. Gibkiss, definitely. I haven't heard much about Hewitt as well, so you could free up some money there as well. Just take into account, you do have 3 rookies in the back line. They probably won't all go bang at the same time. And yes, the first few rounds are best 18, so you can get away with some stuff. But it could end up hurting you in the long run. So as you start to upgrade, you might find yourself not having a lot of money because you haven't put a bit more money in there to start with. So just something to kind of think about at the moment. I think a lot of us can get away with having 5 big players in the midfield, potentially a Peatling at M5, which is, I think, what I'm running at the moment, and then flush around the cash in other places. So, yeah, just kind of assess and go. I don't mind it, Jaden. Looks good.
On you, Jaden. I also do like the he's gone really value Oliver, Chera, Ashcroft. He's gone with the and Peatlings. Gone really value there in the midfield. Matt Collins. This appears to be a 2-parter. Yep. Sorry. Better luck next time. Mark Simons, 34,700 in the bank. This might have been on an iPad of some sort, perhaps.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Sinclair, Short, Mills. So first team, we haven't seen much of a no Sheasel, which is very interesting. Schoenmaker, spoke a little bit about him potentially not being best 22 at the moment, but we'll see. Gibkiss obviously needs to get traded. I think his time's done, unfortunately, in AFL. Bo Allen, Reed, Buslinger, Bont, Butters, Darcy Parish, Joe. First, Darcy Parish, wow. Oliver, and the big Cornelio. Wow.
Cornelio.
Is this team from a couple of years ago? I assume that this was made pre-injury news. So Peatling, Jagger, Smith, Langford. So first real
Lombard.
Lombard. I think first or second Lombard. I think I caught one before. Lindsay, Sard, and Urquhart on the bench. Cherry and Marshall. Obviously, Marshall needs to get moved on at the moment. Finbar Maley could end up playing. We'll see. Horn Francis, McRae, Bailey Smith, Philippou needs to go. Daniel Powell Pepper, Barry Hewitt, and then a Flynn. I don't mind the team, but I think you need to figure out a few more of these injury type players and kind of assess a little bit about where the money's got to go. 2.5 primos in the back line is a bit rough. That's all I'm going to say. You'd hope that Show and Maker comes on. You'd hope someone like a Sin or a Kadeem Coleman, who you can swap kind of similar price, comes on to save you a little bit there. But you could end up getting hurt a little bit about like just catch gen. So Joe, over to you. And no Boyd either.
Yeah, that was going to be the big one. No Boyd, Marshall injured. Plus, even when he wasn't injured, he was going to seems to be playing predominantly forward. So, look, some shuffling around of premiums and mid prices. Like, I'm not sure Cornelio is going to achieve much for you personally. Parrish, I can see potentially he plays in and under. He doesn't play anywhere else. He can't play anywhere else, and he has a history of, scoring really big. So if you want to, bank on the Darcy Parish revival or revenge arc, you can. I think, especially at that price. But too many of these risky mid prices increases your likelihood of having it blow up in your face. So you just want to pick the best of the best, the ones that you are most confident in, and minimize your risk that way, I think. So thanks for the team, Mark. All right.
We're getting there, Joe. We're getting there.
Theo, this is a two-parter.
I think Theo might be playing the three-parter at the moment, or at least maybe
Almost
two in a
looks
comment
like
there.
it.
So
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Theo. Next time, mate. Chuck us a message on Facebook chat.
We got the Ace, Lions, Grape Bunch with 40K. Be honest. You think we haven't been? Come on.
We're brutal. We're brutal. But I think sometimes you have to be like just a bit of a bit of a difference.
You think this face can tell a lie? All right.
Yes.
Shazel, Sicily, Shaw, Mills, Show and Maker, Gibkiss, Alan Sard, Butters, Day. Wow. Day, M2. The Doc. He thinks the Doc is the man. Parrish, Oliver, Peatling, Smith, Ed Allen, Ashcroft, Smiley, Kako, English, and DeConning. Wow. Round 12's going to suck. With Boyd. Bolton. Ooh, I like him. McRae, Smith, Daniel, Lynch, Erasmus, Hewitt Davidson, and Flynn. Look, this team is decent. It doesn't care about round 12. From what I can tell, you got 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, 4. Because you haven't got the Bont. That's right. Interesting team. You think Doherty's the man back there? Could take over? Will Day, you're anticipating a breakout from him. Sicily, you don't think he's going to play forward. Show and Maker, you think he's going to play every week? Be best 22, mate. This is the definition of wait and see. I feel with this team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I think you're going very, very deep in the forward line, deep in the back line. A lot of 400K players around that mark that you hope are going to kind of jump in. A few guys that have opportunities too as well. So Parrish potentially coming back to form, Doherty as well, Oliver Peatling. So could work out very well for you, but could also not work out very well for you. So a bit of a mismatch, and you hope, pray and hope a little bit.
Yeah, I can see why you're telling us to be honest, because this is a unique team, unlike others. It is not quite cookie cutter, and obviously there is risk baked into that, right? This is, it. The fact that you told us to be honest here clearly goes to show that you yourself know that this isn't quite cookie cutter template. But the team that wins has to be a team that is at the very least slightly different to everyone else's. So
yes,
if you think that this is going to get you the most amount of points, the most amount of upside for your starting team, then you can do that. I just don't think Show Maker is going to be one of those people. But like we said, this is a definition of time will tell. More information in the preseason will help dictate that. thanks for the team ace. Riley Gray, 22,500 in the bank. Okay.
Let's go, Big Riley. Diane. Okay, cool. I'm not going to read out that team name. That's all right. Sheasel, Whitfield, Sinclair, Mills. Cool. Bang, bang, bang. Trevelya, Bo Allen, Bontempelli, Sarong, Will Day, Oliver Peatling. Okay. Cherry, Darcy, McRae, Bailey Smith, Daniel Hutchinson. 30 card could come in and play a bit of mid, which would make things interesting. Dan Curtin, Hewitt, and then DeConning as well. I don't mind the team. I think this is what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
And I'll preface this a little bit, guys. You just have to be careful about not being different, which is the big thing. If your team is not different, then you're going to be scoring similar to everyone else. And I think a lot of teams are going to be similar to what this team is. And it's a good team. Don't get me wrong. But
yeah,
just to be a little bit careful. You don't want to be scoring like 2,000 and everyone else scores 2,000 and then you're chasing teams that did something a little bit differently and scored 2,400 in round one, because that's already 400 points you've got to make up. So, yeah, just be careful a little bit with that.
Yeah. I guess a simple way to distill that would be you haven't done anything wrong with the team, but you haven't necessarily done anything right with the team either. If it's the same as everyone else, then you're just going to score exactly like Big J, like everyone else. So there needs to be something, at least something in there that gives it a bit of a shake-up. Nothing really here is going to give it a shake-up. This really is the template structure in terms of having 4 guns in the back line, 3 rookies in the mids, and potentially 2 rookies in the forward line. It's a very solid structure. Good team, Riley. Good team. Very nice. Nothing wrong with that team. Matthew has a 3-parter almost. Paul Allen, let's go. Cheers, boys. Love your work. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks for watching, Paul.
39,400 in the bank, as we can see up top there. Shazel, Whitfield, Clark. Mills, Trevelya, Allen. Bont, Butters, Brayshaw, Day, Oliver, Chera. Wow, okay, this is deep. And Peatling. Yep. All right, we've got to be light somewhere. Smith, DeConning, Darcy, McRae, Smith, Daniel, Berry, Cleary, Hewitt, Stone, Davidson, Ashcroft. Bro, this team is so good, actually. It's good because it's not necessarily weak in the back line. It's still got the 3 and Mills. You've gone with DeConning, Darcy. Ashcroft can be a very good cash cow as well. You don't necessarily need a Flynn type. Ashcroft in the flex because he might play more forward, given how stacked Brisbane is. But if you're going to play forward for any team, playing forward for Brisbane is a pretty damn good one. You're going to get plenty of supply and plenty of opportunity to score as well. So I don't mind Ashcroft in the flex. That's how my first team last year had it set up, with Ashcroft in the flex. And he's gone super deep in the midfield with value in Day, Chera, Oliver, Peatling. I like this team, Paul. I really do. And the bench, apart from maybe Bites, who might not play, but everyone else seems to be, and Reed maybe not, but other than that, it seems to be a very solid team. I like it.
Yeah, I definitely like this team as well. Just kind of watch and see for pre-season and who you got to move around and whatnot, but pretty good.
Good stuff, Paul. You love our work, and I love your work too. Good stuff. All right.
Good team.
Clayton Tilley with 8K in the bank. The Spud Guns. I like it. The Spud Guns.
Sheasel, Whitfield, Sinclair. Cool. McKercher, Mills. Joe, this guy's gone big. Bont, Butters, Will Day, Oliver, Peatling. Okay. Smith, Brody, Smiley. I can see where kind of the money's gone a little bit. Cherry, Matt Flynn, Horn, Francis, McRae, Smith, Daniel, Lynch, Powell, Pepper, Cleary, Erasmus, Hewitt. Now, I don't mind this team. I think it's okay. You've definitely gone big in the back line and tried to lock in a few good players. Love the McKercher pick. He's currently in my team at the moment. Bont, you have to have him in a team like this. You don't want to be chasing the most expensive player. So to be able to start him is cool. Butters, no dramas. My only thing with this type of team is that you probably want to go Boyd as the flex and then throw in another 122k player. I think that would, sorry, not 122k player. I think you either throw in a loophole. So you've actually got a loophole the entire time, but you do have a few players with early buys, so it saves you that way. Or as Joe mentioned, there's a couple of players at the moment who are around that 117k mark that might be playing. Get that Boyd money on field, get his scoring on field. If he's going solo ruck or close to it, which it's looking like with Marshall being down for a while, I mean, it's the best pickup they've ever had in their life. And fantastic for us in Supercoach, so there is something there. But you probably want to offload Flynn as your earliest pick if you can. And that's my only consideration is the team looks okay. Flynn definitely needs to go. Like, that needs to be first upgrade. Bang. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that the rookies as well, you know, we don't know about a Hayes, we don't know about an Urquhart, don't know about Hustwaite, Will Brody, Smiley. It's quite a few of these rookies. I think there's too many of them, have too many question marks. Yeah, drop Power Pepper to Kako or Joe Berry. I think both of them about 40k cheaper and will outscore him pretty comfortably, I reckon. Or Stone, even cheaper, playing off halfback for the Giants. Yeah, plenty of better options to be a bit more optimal with the rookies. But other than that, I think all of the premiums or the keepers that you have selected are all great players. Well done, Clayton. Matthew Dick, do your worst, he tells us. Oh, boy. With a name like that, you're telling us to do our worst. You naughty
I don't know.
boy.
I think he's taken away the team's name, so he can't see what he's written there as well. Sheasel, Sinclair, Clark, maybe you want to make it a bit bigger. Mills, cool. Backline's okay. Trevelya, Leake, Bo Allen, Smith. Okay. Pretty standard there. Seems to be good. Bont, Butters, Sarong, cool. Oliver, Peatling. Yep. Laylor, potential injury worry, so just be careful, but you can always downgrade to a Sardis, so you're fine. Jagger, Smith, Nevitt, Lindsay, Kako, and then Sard. Cherry, Flynn, Boyd, Horn, Francis, McRae, Smith, Daniel, Hewitt, Davidson, and then Chera. I don't mind the team, but I think this is going to be the stock standard for a lot of people at the moment. 3 to 4 in the back line with the Mills, Peatling at a M5, M6. Your R2 kind of sucks. As I said before to the other person, you probably just need to throw as much cash as you can as an auto upgrade in there. But with a team like this, you're relying on your rookies to do very well. So research in the preseason is going to be a big thing for you. I'm glad that you've thrown in a Nevitt. I'm glad that I think Joe's very happy with the Lindsay as well for his positioning where he's playing. So cool, no dramas. But you need to nail the rookies this year because you've got so much like just upgrade and money that you've got to try and throw around. And, you don't want to be chasing a 600k ruck with Matt Flynn, probably averaging an 80. So, yeah, it's going to hurt a bit.
You'd be laughing if Matt Flynn averages 80. His starting run is actually quite brutal. Even if he is the number one ruck, his starting run is very difficult. But other than that, thank you very much for the time, Matthew. What we got? Mark Curson with 11,000 remaining. My team stinks. Well, we'll be the judge of that, I think.
Go for it, Joe.
Basil, Sinclair, Clark, Mills, Smith, Stard, Leake, Buslinger, Bond, Butters, Dacos, Parrish, Oliver, Smith, Draper, Ashcroft. Lorenz. Okay, interesting. Cherry, Darcy, and Meek. Okay, cool. McRae, Smith, Daniel, Lynch, Stewart, Stone, Johnson, Davidson. Look, you've gone a bit lighter in the forward line, but I think we have the rookies there that warrant it. Gone with Meek as a bit of a pod. That's, I think, fine. I think Parrish, yeah, you're going for upside. Dacos, you don't really care about his foot complaints. You reckon he'll be fine. That's entirely up to you. Look at the decent team. Decent team, Mark. I like the structure of it.
Yeah. I think it's just a lot of wait and see with some of these players. I think Dacos will be okay, but lingering foot, I mean, he did something similar last year and everyone had to rush to get him in. Parrish, definitely one to watch as well, and a couple of these other players. But yeah, not too bad. Just kind of sit and wait for preseason and then move rookies around and come to round one whose names where and whatnot. So yeah,
Exactly.
good for right now. It's only January.
Yeah, exactly. Not too bad for an early team. Noah Lapeno. This
117K in the bank. Now, I'll say it again a little bit, guys, but I think that's too much money in the bank.
Yeah.
You almost got one extra rookie that you could have in your team, or the difference between having an Oliver and someone like a Hewitt. Not a Hewitt, Ollie Hollins in the midfield. So, yeah, just to be a bit careful. Beazle, Sinclair, Sicily, cool. Mills, cool. I think that's going to be 3 to 4, and then a Mills. It's the way to go. No cheaper primo, or no cheaper mid-pricer in the back line, which is okay. Butters, Brayshaw, so no Bont. Goulden, Oliver, Cumming, Jagger, Smith, Draper, Ashcroft, Cherry, Darcy, Horn, Francis, McRae, Smith, Daniel, obviously heard about Phillip who being injured, Kako, Hewitt, Erasmus, Stone, Flynn. I'll probably start us off, Joe. I think that 116K could be very, very good. Could be the difference between, I know some people are hot on Goulden, but could be the Goulden to a Bont. And I think that makes the team look a little bit better. You could finagle some money as well, maybe downgrade a Smiley to 117K rookie, because you've got a lot of very expensive rookies on your bench. Trevelyan, I don't know if he's going to be worth the price. He'll probably play, but maybe not worth the price. Move him around with the Davidson, chuck him in the forward line, move Erasmus around. And with that 117K, if you don't want Bont, you think he's too expensive, go a Peatling. You could go Ashcroft off the Peatling very easy with some rookie downgrades. So would just make the team better, looks better. You're focusing on Adelaide a little bit, which is okay. Their early run is great. I think that may be one of the holes at the moment in your team, Noah.
Yeah, I reckon just put the money on Goulden. Goulden to Bont, and the team just looks so much sexier, in my opinion. Other than that, the structure seems to be mostly fine, and wait and see as the preseason goes on. Lawrence Pierre, 4,600 left, 9 absolute locks for top spots in their positions, plus 5 probable premiums. No Horn Francis, as I can't trust his midfield time and a point of difference in the comp. Rookies very interchangeable depending on health and run availability. Brisbane fan can definitely bank on the 2 Ashcrofts to absolutely score. Love to hear it. All right. Jays, Whitfield, Sinclair, Mills. Yep, nice. Bont, Butters, Sarong, Merritt, Oliver, Levi as Lindsay. Nice. Gorn, Cherry with Boyd, McRae, Daniel. All very light. Only 2. Lynch, Curtin, Kako, Hewitt, Ashcroft.
Daniel F2's risky.
Well, Kako, Curtin seems to be playing almost exclusively forward. So that's not going to be very good. Lynch can be hit or miss as a pure key forward. Kako, a bit of a small forward. Hewitt will be getting some mid-time, sure. Yeah, so the forward line could really let you down in terms of the scoring. But then again, if you think the scoring in the forward line in general is not going to be that great, like a Bailey Smith, for example, is also one that you're fading in that forward line that seems to be very, very popular. Having spent up, you're going pretty deep with Merritt in addition to Sarong, Oliver, and Will Ashcroft. This is a team that's really all or nothing. It's banking on that midfield to do all of the heavy lifting. Very solid back line as well. And you've gone light in the forward line. Look, I don't mind it personally. You want to go that way? Go for it.
I think the forward line's going to let you down a little bit. I don't think we're going to get 5 good scorers in the forward line, plus potentially an Ashcroft. Yes, he could be another player. He could, he's obviously not a forward, but I think it's going to hurt you. I think you need to throw in another mid-pricer. There's a hell of a lot of value in there, especially with yourself not picking a Horn Francis or a Rankin or someone who's already 500K. You want guys who can make you some cheeky money. And looking at your team, I could understand a world where you do this with your forward line. But because you still have upgrades everywhere else on field, I think it's going to hurt you too much. That's my only thing. Like, you've got two guys in the back line to upgrade already, plus 3 guys in the midfield to upgrade, plus 4 guys in the forward line to upgrade. Like, what's that? 6. That's 8. 8 rookies on field. It is a lot in this kind of situation at the moment. So, yeah, it's a lot of rookies.
40 trades can make it happen.
Oh, of course.
Forward line, the top 6 last year didn't average 100. So if that's the case, then they probably won't be that expensive to be able to trade in this year as well. You've got 5 players for round 12. Look, there are some things going for it. Lawrence, I do think you have some things going for it. It's just a consideration. If you run the numbers, what you think others will score here and compare it to what you think the mids will score. But I guess wait and see during the preseason. It is still only January.
Yeah.
Lucas, 4,300 remaining. Garen Goannas. Okay.
I'm just trying to get the
Chazal, Holmes, Mills, Shoemaker. All right. So that's so Holmes seems to be okay. Shoemaker, big question mark over him.
Mm-hmm.
Bonds, Green, Day, Oliver, Baker injured. So he has to be changed.
Yeah.
Sherry, Darcy, Rankin, McRae, Smith, Sanders, Bevo, all have to say. Daniel Hewitt. Marich playing as an intercept defender. Yeah, I can see why you've got him there.
He might be he might be the sneaky pick at the moment, depending on how. If only West Coast had round 0, Joe.
If only.
Life would be
at
very
the same
easy.
time. At the same time, though, if round 0 happened and everyone saw him play that role, then everyone would have him. So this is rewarding the people who are doing their preseason research.
Yeah, but I'd rather come in and say, cool, lock in the selection, and then people be like, oh, cool. Like, I'd rather have everyone jump on the train than be the guy that jumps on the train and it doesn't work out.
Well, you're not really jumping on the train. You're sort of starting the train and seeing if other people join you. If you start
Lucas is starting the train.
I don't mind the team. Obviously, there are some individual selections that need to be changed due to injury. But in terms of structure, I think maybe a bit too heavy in the forward line, and you might want to bolster the back line with another top liner, I think, rather than some speculative ones.
Yep.
Cool. Thanks, Lucas.
Getting there, guys. 2 more teams to go. More than halfway. Let's pump it out. Peter. I'm not going to try and pronounce Peter's last name. 14.8K in the bank.
Bro, it's Damianos. You can't read it. Damianos.
Damianos. There you go. Sheasel, Sinclair, Clark, Mills. Cool. Trevelyan, Sard in the back line. Bont, Butters, LDU. Cool. Nice pick. See if it works out. Oliver Hollands. Hey, Oliver Hollands. Look, it almost works out again. It's like Dan and Curtin.
Yeah.
Jagger Smith, Draper, Ashcroft. Cool. Cherry, DeConning, Horn, Francis, McRae, Bailey Smith, Daniel Hewitt, and then Connor Stone, Matt Flynn there. I don't mind it. I think, as I've commented before, I think this is going to be what a lot of teams are going to be like. No Peatling. I think we kind of both are a bit unanimous, Joe, about Peatling being one of the more solid picks at that selection. Potentially Peatling's better than Hollands, would you say? Or are they pretty even?
I would say he's better, yes.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, so just kind of ignoring that a little bit. I don't mind the team. It's a bit of a watch and see for preseason.
Peter Damianos might be, I don't know, a different language for Peter Dam's round 12 because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay, I get you.
9 of them, Peter. 9. All right. Look, if you really don't care about round 12, you could have told me in this comment right here, I don't care about round 12. But other than that, good team. Other than that, what's your team? Blob it in round 12. All right.
Done.
So, Stephen, 32 grand in the bank. Not sure about R2 and Flex. See who's left standing. Cheers. Yes.
Well, that's it at the moment, isn't it? I do love the Boyd at Flex. I think if that's the way to go, that's the way to go. Sheasel, Whitfield, Sinclair, Mills, cool. Trevelyan,
Nice.
Bo Allen. So this seems to be the way to go in the back line at the moment. Bont, Butters, Sarong, Oliver, Peatling. Okay. Jagger, Smith, Draper, Nevitt. Cool.
Nice.
Cherry, Darcy. Joe loves the Darcy. Hopefully Qatar loves it too. Horton, Francis, McRae, Smith, Daniel, Hewitt, Erasmus, Boyd. I feel like you should have some more money. I'm trying to figure out where the money's gone.
32 grand he's got.
Yeah, but it feels like you're missing quite a bit of money. I mean, Georgie Payne probably won't play. Jack Martin could be downgraded, could end up being a fantastic pick. We'll wait and see. Yeah, just a bit of a wait and see. You've kind of, in my head, got the structure worked out okay.
Yeah.
We just have to wait and see at the moment.
He's paid up for 3 big dogs, Bont, Butters, Sarong. He's paid up for some big dogs in that midfield, and I think they'll do him a world of good. I like this team. This is a very guns and rookies strategy. Paid up for some big guns in the back line, paid up for some big guns in the midfield, paid up for some, obviously it's hard to pay up big for big guns in the forward line, but he has paid up for the most expensive forward. So yeah, this is as guns and rookies as we'll probably see for the most part. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in round 12. That's the max. It feels good. I like it, Stephen. Very nice. Very, very nice indeed. Josh Hewitt, $800 left, laughing his ass off.
That's Joshy boy. Hewitt, Whitfield, Sinclair, Clark, Mills. Cool. It's very buff backline. Smith, Bo Allen, Booslinger. Okay. Bont, Butters, Will Day, Oliver Peatling. I can see where the rest of the money went. Jagger Smith, Lindsay, Nevitt, Hewitt, who I think might not play much. Sard, Erasmus, DeConning, Boyd. Okay, I'm not going to comment because he's now got Darcy in
Flex.
In the flex. So I think some people are trying to play some funny business with us. Darcy Fort is a very interesting pick.
Yes.
I don't know if O's injured at the moment, Joe.
Well, he got injured before the grand final last year.
Yeah, that's fair. McRae, Bailey Smith, Luke Parker, love the pick. Daniel, Lynch, Powell Pepper, Berry, and Stone. What do you reckon?
Look, Powell Pepper can be dropped to anyone, and they'll do better than him. And great team. Very nice team otherwise. I like it. Maybe you can drop Powell Pepper so you can get Darcy 4 up to a Flynn, which is, I think he's only 30k away. So you could very easily.
Flynn is 260, so you can get
260, 70k. Oh, okay. So it's a bit harder to get there then. Maybe it's Powell Pepper down, and it might also be some money off of Lynch as well. 2 rookies in there could well be, the Kako and someone else. There's so many of them that are cheaper, and then you can get Darcy Fort up to Flynn. I don't know about Darcy Fort. I'm pretty sure Darcy Fort's gone as soon as Big O is, and I think Big O might actually start the year. I think he would have recovered come round 1. So 190k for a loop is too expensive. I'd rather you have a playing player. But other than that, thank you for your team. What do you think? Was it good?
Yeah, I do like the team. It's always just a toss up between paying too much in the back line, and then kind of the flow on effect with the team. So I've currently got something a little bit similar. Haven't gone to Butters. Have gone someone a little bit cheaper in Brayshaw. So it's kind of a similar idea. Yeah, it's fine. Just that Boyd in flex kind of flips people out, I think.
Yeah. Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
Okay. Lucas Blasco, sick last name.
What's he saying? cash left in the bank, 104K. Now for reasons behind some
10,000.
pod selections.
10.4K. 10.4.
Sorry, 10.4K. Pod selection, Stewart, I believe, will go back to his best. Cool. Newcomb, look at his scoring in wins. Pretty good. Blah, 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 blah. Parker and Kennedy, I hope to see 60 to 65% CBAs. Yep, could end up happening with some moving in players, especially Wardlaw, but I think Parker's going to end up doing quite well anyway. And Nank, because it's Nank. And Darcy potentially not back round one. So, cool. Okay, cool. Let's check out the team, Joe. Few pods in the team for Big Lucas here.
Oh no. Oh no, we're gonna move away. We're gonna move away from that team name. Shays, Whitfield, Stewart, Mills, Alan, Sard, Nice, Bont, Sarong, Newcomb, Oliver, Peatling, Smith, Elijah, Smiley, Sherry, Nank, Kennedy. Don't trust Bevo, McRae, Smith, Parker, Daniel, Cleary, Flynn. Look, I love me Zach Merritt. There's no way. I know you were asking me about Zach. I want Zerrett Joe. He makes me salute in more ways than one. Look, mate, he makes me too, mate. Me too. But look, I'm gonna end the team with him. He will definitely be in my final team, but I'm just not gonna start him now. At this point,
it's a bit
one
rough.
to trade, one to trade in later. And then Kennedy. No real. I don't think there's any reasoning behind how he's gonna have so much midfield minutes in what is a stacked Bulldogs side. Time will tell with him. Time will tell with Stewart. Time will tell with Jai Newcomb. If it's not this year, then it's potentially next year that he breaks out. I'm not sure if it's him or Day or both. Like is it which one is the one that's going to really take that next step and be uber primo? It's unlikely that both of them will be uber primo keepers. So that's a bit of a wait and see there as well. Nank the Tank, I have flirted with him in my side because he doesn't share round 12 bye. He's clearly number one ruck and has a pretty decent floor because he's a tackling machine, as is Sherry. So I don't mind the selection either. It's just some individual selections that are questionable, but it's the questionable ones that, if they work out, are the ones that get you ahead of the pack, Lucas. So from that perspective, I don't mind.
Yeah, definitely. I think just watch and see with a few of your primos. Tom Stewart can always be moved around. Same with Sarong, Newcomb, things like that. Nankervis, definitely a pod pick. We'll see. Maybe they're just going to get smashed every 5 seconds and then the CBAs are just going to be there for him. So watch and see with the players. I like the deep forward line. And kind of, hey, look, you might have to spend a bit of upgrades in there. Hopefully it works out for you.
Thanks for the team, Lucas. Okay. Lachlan.
Let's go, Lachlan.
This is such a long video. 19.8K left. He likes the team. Good. Seriously considering Nuke and Sam Darcy, but I don't think they make my team. What do you guys think? All right. So
wait and see with English, I think, before you move a few players around. We'll see what happens. I'm not keen on the Darcy Wilson pick. It could work out well, but I'm more than happy to come in and say, hey, look, I have to spend an upgrade to get him in. Backline is Sheasel, Sinclair, McKercher. Love McKercher. Sin. So no Callum Mills, which is very interesting. Bit fuzzy. Bont, Butters, Sarong, Merritt. So very, very expensive in there. Oliver, Jagger Smith, Sardis, and then Draper. Gorn, Cherry. I love the Gorn Cherry. McRae, Bailey Smith, Darcy Wilson, who we spoke about. Daniel, Joe Berry, Hewitt, and then Ashcroft. So it's an okay team. I can see the structure, can see things happening, but a big watch and see in the preseason for me. You've got a lot of guys with speculative roles in Sin, in Wilson. Big watch and see to kind of what happens with their team.
Very solid otherwise. I think Wilson could be one of Hutchinson or Marich, depending on whoever you like the look of better over the preseason. But yeah, otherwise, very solid team. Nice one, Lachlan. Ashley Renault or Raynaud or Forgive me
Let's go,
for
Ashley.
Forgive me for the pronunciation. Jeez, why
Hey,
the
not
hell is
not
this?
me pronouncing, so that's always good. I appreciate your thoughts on Kane Farrell due to Houston departure.
This shit?
Well, currently Kane Farrell is injured. We've spoken a lot about how even when Kane Farrell was fit, it was the likes of Logan Evans that took the spot. So it took a lot more of the kick-ins. Ed Allen or Sid Draper, it's a watch and see. Collingwood's an interesting team at the moment. They seem to want to play someone every so often. So there'll be a good debutant this year. Who is it? Could be Allen. Shai Bolton. My only problem with Bolton, I think Joe can reiterate this, is that Bolton has been playing a lot of forward in preseason training at the moment. So it could hurt. He might not get as much mid-time. And with the likes of Erasmus coming in and taking some bulk mid-minutes, that just might be how it goes. It could just be 60, 70% forward and then a little bit of mid-time as opposed to a lot more. And to be honest, looking at Bolton at Richmond, that's what he was good at. Yeah. Sheasel, Clark, Farrell, backline, Mills there as well, Trevelyan, Sard, Bont, Butters, Sarong, cool, Oliver, cool, Guthrie at M5 is a bit light. Jagger Smith, Allen, Ashcroft, Smiley probably needs the downgrade. Cherry, TDK, Boyd, cool. Bolton, Kennedy, Joe's gone on about Kennedy, might not be a great pick. I would downgrade to a Luke Parker, most likely. He's just dominating preseason, and we know what we're going to get. Probably 90 plus from him. McRae, Bailey Smith, Daniel Lynch, and Pal Pepper at the flex.
You're not a big fan of Pal Pepper. I honestly think every single available rookie forward that we've discussed over this preseason will outscore Pal Pepper. And that includes the Stones, the Aiden Johnsons, like even the ones that are 113K. I think all of them will outscore Pal Pepper. I love Pal Pepper, but he gives away a lot of free kicks. He isn't clean with the football, isn't really known to be a prolific scorer, has been training almost purely as a forward. So, yeah, I wouldn't go near Pal Pepper personally. I'm not a big fan. Kennedy, yeah. Bevo, hard to trust. Kane Farrell, didn't really necessarily see a big bump in scoring when Houston came out of the side as well. So I'm not a big believer in Farrell. I think if you're going to, it seems that role was going to be shared over a number of people. And, you know, if that role is going to be shared and the points are going to be shared, then you're more than, it's better off for you going with someone who is a lot cheaper, who requires to average less to make that money. And in that respect, I'd say Josh Sin probably, who is over 200K cheaper than Farrell, which means that he doesn't need to average anywhere near as much to make the money that you need. Farrell's not a keeper. 445K for him to make the money, you're anticipating him to be a keeper, and he's definitely not a keeper in my eyes.
For 20K more, you can get McKercher, and I think that's going to be a better pick. Exactly. I'm not North Melbourne biased, but I think he's going to be fantastic this year.
I agree. McKercher is definitely a much better pick than Farrell. And Guthrie, old. Now, in relation to Ed Allen, Craig McRae, Fly, as great of a coach as he is not a rebuild coach. He is not a rookies coach. He is a coach that is purely in the here and now, and he's all about winning Collingwood premierships right here, right now. They're trading away the draft picks. They're trading away the futures. They're doing all they can to bolster the team for winning the premiership the window that they're in right now. If it doesn't work, then the club is screwed for the future. But that's not his problem. His problem is purely on winning premierships now. Craig McRae is not going to be around for a long time. He's only going to be coaching in this window where Collingwood are contending. So does Ed Allen break into the midfield? Personally, I don't think so. That's not what Craig McRae is not about blooding the kids. Craig McRae is all about playing his best possible players at all times to win the premiership. So I wouldn't go there.
Yeah, to double up on that too. I mean, Pendlebury's got 1 to 2 years left.
Exactly.
So they want to put time into him. Crisp, similar as well. A few of these other guys. They want to try and go for another premiership because last year wasn't a great finals run. So yeah, we'll wait and see. All right, on to the next one, Joe. Let's pump these out.
Yeah, Degoe got injured, so maybe he might potentially have a look there, but I don't think he's first in line.
Guys, it's 2 hours in. If you're watching, fantastic. Thank you very much for jumping on and watching the whole thing. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Got a bit of insight. If you haven't already, smash that sub button, smash the like button. It helps us out a lot more. Remember, we've got our memberships as well if you guys are interested in those. Kind of supports the channel in an extra way, and we've got some good exclusives coming out for that throughout the season.
Thanks, Logan, Sheasel, Sinclair, Clark, Mills, Revalia, Leak, nice. Bont, Butters, Brescia, Oliver, Chera, Petling, Smith, Ashcroft, very nice. With Sardis, Nevitt, very nice. Cherry, DeConning, cool. With Reed, yeah, I like that because I'm sure you got Boyd. Yeah, you got Boyd there. Cool. That's works perfectly. McRae, Smith, Daniel, Hugo's a pod. Hutchinson could get midfield time, so that's acceptable there. If not Hugo, then maybe even a marriage potentially. Whichever works better. Davidson, yep. Hewitt, yep. Stone, yep. Oh, great team. Very good team.
I really like it.
About Sardis. She asked me about Sardis as well. Loops well. Thoughts on Sardis, Joe? Loops well, early buys, any changes? No, I think Sardis has been tearing it up in the preseason. We've moved Shield away. We've moved Shield out of the midfield to play half back. I think Elijah, this is his year. He's had an incredible preseason, put in a ton of work. And you could see we wanted to play him last year, but couldn't quite fit him. Had him as the sub playing on a wing. That's changed. He's going to be playing, I think all the teams should be planning to start with Elijah. I think he's a very good pick.
Yeah, he's got to play, right? I mean, that if you don't play him now, he probably gets traded. So I don't think that's not going to happen. Watch and see for the rest of your players, but I really like this team.
Great team, Logan. Very nice. Okay.
Logan, round 12 bye, going to hurt your rucks, though. That's probably the only thing.
Yeah, the rucks. Yeah. Well, I've spoken about round 12 enough. Travis.
Trav. Here we go. Wash and Lash. All right. 56K in the bank. So not so much flexibility in terms of actually being able to trade primos, but can definitely move some rookies around. Sheasel, Clark, Mills, backline, Josh Sin. Okay. Understand that. Trevelya, Sard, Bont, Butters, Sarong, Will Day, Oliver, Ashcroft. All right. No dramas there. Cherry, Meek. Love the Meek. Darcy, hopefully with English out for a while, gets a bit more of a scoring. McRae, Bailey Smith, Daniel. Cool. I don't mind this team. I think it's similar to what a lot of people are going to run, which for a lot of people is fine. Yeah, what do you reckon, Joe?
Solid team.
Yep.
Pow Pepper, not a big fan of. But otherwise, yeah, it's very solid. I like it.
Which is what you want. Sometimes solid is just good.
Yeah, we love solid, Travis. We love solid, and you are a solid super coacher, mate. We got Zane Barnard. Oh, I see a beautiful profile picture of El Capitan on you, Zane. You're a good man, Zane.
Is he in the team? He's not in the team, though, Joe. He's dropped him. No captain.
Fine. That's fine. We'll trade him in later for a little bit cheaper. It's fine. I'm the same.
That's true,
I'm the same. Sheasel, Clark, Dale, Mills, Sin, Allen, Sard, Leak, Bont, Butters, Brayshaw, Anderson, breakout there. Day, breakout, Oliver, Pete. Holy crap, this is deep. So deep. Oh my God. You can't fit them all in, mate. Sherry, Boyd, McRae, Smith, Daniel, Hewitt, Stone, Davidson. And this is where it sort of falls apart.
And he's basically got Flynn at R2.
Yes.
Yeah. That's my only problem. I don't mind the team. I think you've done well, but you're relying on very, very cheap rucks, and I don't think it's going to work out that well for you, unfortunately. You've got a lot of good mid-primos. The only problem I have with your mid-primos, right, is that you've picked a lot of players who probably aren't going to be the top of their line, but you've picked so many that you're going to be trading out primos to get different primos in. So you know Zach Merritt's going to be a primo. You know probably Sarong's going to be a primo. You probably want one of the Brisbane primos. But no, you've got a Pete Ling's a bit different. But Will Day, Noah Anderson, a few of these guys. Yeah. You just need to bolster.
You've locked in so many. Yeah, you've locked in so many. You've only got
it's going to feel bad
spots left.
You're going to feel bad trying to jump on, especially between round 6 and 9, where a lot of these 600K guys are going to drop in price, you're going to
Yeah.
feel bad not being able to bring them into your team.
Because you know you're going to have Merit and what? Dacos? And that's it.
Yep.
There's your midfield done. And you're going to be
Yep.
trading up premiums for the top line premiums. So yeah, that's the thing. By filling out a line too quickly, you're locking in who you think the best players are. But otherwise, thanks for the team, Zane. Very nice. Very nice. Jamie Gorn has gone bust. Only 1,600 in the bank. Round
That's
12
right,
and
Jamie.
15
No
are
dramas.
issues. Round 12 and 15 are issues. All right. Glad you acknowledge that.
We
And all
spoke
the
about round
injuries.
12 before. It doesn't hurt too much. Yeah. It's about
Doesn't
moving
it?
people
1,
around.
2,
Horn
3,
Francis in the
4,
midfield, Joe.
5,
Holy moly.
6. 6. That's fine. You got 6, bro. You're fine with round 12. That's not a problem. Basil, Clark, McKercher, Mills, Trav, Allen, Bont, Sarong, Steele. Holy crap. He's got Steele, bro. He's got Jack Steele. I repeat, he has Jack Steele. Horn Francis,
Yes.
Oliver, Peatling, Smith, Allen, Sherry, Nank, McRae, Smith, Daniel, Lynch, Palpepper, Erasmus, Flynn. Daywick's not going to play. Bice not
Jack
going
Steele,
to
bro.
play. But otherwise, the structure's not bad. Structure's not bad.
Yeah. No, I like it as well. I think a few potty picks who are going to be interesting. Jack, I rarely have players on my never again list. Jack Steele has
Jack Steele
has gone to my never again list. It's a no thanks from me, but if you like the pick, cool. Horn Francis there works okay. I think kind of a lot of people are locking in their players, but if you're going to do this, why have you not just put Erasmus into the midfield and then made your team look a little bit different? Like it would have been the same outcome. So yeah. Thanks and
It's because he's gone mad. It's because he's gone mad.
There you go.
Thanks, Jamie. All right, next one. Mark Bray.
Mark. Let's go, Mark. Now, hopefully, Mark has put how much cash he's got left. Otherwise, Mark.
No,
Mark.
No cash left.
Where's the cash, Mark?
No cash.
Shoot us a message on Twitter, Mark, or Facebook. Big Shano. Now, I don't know if Shano's got it either. Let's have a quick look.
This is a two-parter.
Shano. Mate,
Shannon.
We said you got to screenshot the team. Don't do it this way. Shoot us a message on Facebook chat. Unfortunately, Harry Freeman, fantastic person, loves to watch the channel. Let's check out who we've got. 5 Night at Frio's.
We've already done 5 Night at Frio's. We've done 5 nights at Frio's.
Teams. Harry, you cheeky bugger. Maybe you've posted 2 teams.
We've done 5 nights at Frio's for sure.
Or if it's like refreshed, there might have been some other people. Cool. Let's put Hunter as our last person for today, guys. It's been 2 hours and 12 minutes. If we have missed your team, Joe needs to go to bed. I got to go to work. For some reason, your team's not working. That might be us then. Hopefully, we'll snap. Screenshot's not working. Does it not look okay there, Joe? Let's have a quick look. No. All right. Sorry, Big Hunter. Message us on Facebook chat, Hunter. Sorry, mate. I don't know what's happened to your team, but we can try and guess. Joe, do you want to try and guess? Or
it's like Shazel, Whitfield, Sinclair, Mills.
No, it could be Naz. Could be Naz in there too.
Most likely Sinclair. Mills.
Sinclair,
Bo Allen. Smith. Bond.
Sard or whoever in there. You got Zach
Merritt? Yeah.
Or Parrish?
Day?
No, Parrish is too cheap. Yep. Oliver,
Peatling, Smith, Draper, Lindsay.
Yep.
Terry, Nankervis, Boyd, Darcy, McRae, Smith, Daniel, Lynch. Oh, don't tell me about Pepper.
Yep.
And Hayden Cleary.
Yeah. I don't mind the team. I think you've probably just got too many rookies on field. 1 or too many 2 rookies, which might mean you just need to move some money around. I've played around with it a bit, and the triple rookie is fantastic, but it doesn't leave you a lot of space. And I think at the moment you've got, what, three rookies?
164K in the bank.
Yeah. You spend some money. That's all I'm going to say. Spend some money, maybe get a Hollands, upgrade one of your midfielders.
Could 164K on Lynch get him to Parker?
No.
180 plus 160.
Oh, potentially. It's pretty close.
It's pretty close. I reckon
Yep.
you could do that, and the team would look a bit better. But I think we deserve a like and a subscribe just for being able to freaking tell who's in this team, just based on the team that they live. It's just you can tell it's been
I
a very
agree.
busy 2 hours and 14 minutes. So before I hardly doubt you've got to this point. But if you have got to this point, firstly, you might be a masochist. Secondly, we really appreciate your support that you got
Yep.
to this point, because I almost haven't got to this point. So massive thanks to you. You guys are an absolute legend. I almost feel embarrassed asking you to subscribe and hit the notification bell at this point, but please do. A lot of work trying to help each of us out as much as possible, because it is our dream for one of us to win the 50K this year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if it's not us, Joe, it's one of the fans. How well these guys do, let us know in the chat, that kind of thing. And guys, I say it again. Joe says smash that like button, smash the subscribe. If you haven't already, throw us a membership if that's something you want to do as well. We live stream every Monday. Got a lot of content coming out. Because here at the Centre Bounce, we do the hard work. It's been 2 hours and 15 minutes, Joe. Why do we do the hard work?
So they don't have to. Bye for now.
See you guys.